ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the XFL.
The XFL has arrived in Arlington, Texas, and the St. Louis BattleHawks roll in for their first game in franchise history. Today also marks the return of head coach Bob Stoops after a 3-year hiatus from the game that he loves. And in this football-crazy state, the fans have been lined up and ready to go. The hometown Dallas Renegades are strapped in and locked up. It's game time in North Texas.
Game day. We enter this untamed sensation of just before. In the abyss, the mind races between expectation and desire. The lifelong ritual renewed. Find just the right amount of calm. Locate the headspace inside of this building fury.
Here we go, Marco!
All new colors, and yet it's the same game.
Hey, that's a great hit. That's it. That's what you want.
Improve. Prove again.
Turn it around. Come to that. Yes, man.
Form the trust. Build the confidence. Play to the construct. Balance the hype and angst. Read, react. Look, listen. Compose, create. Fly, finish. Rejoice. Activate this journey. Next rung on the climb. For the love of football. Game time.
Look, we going big today. We finna win.
All three phases. Offense, defense, all three.
It's time to boot up. Yay!
Welcome to the XFL on ESPN. This is the progressive countdown to kickoff. Today, the St. Louis BattleHawks and the Dallas Renegades. And the Renegades take the field here at Globe Life Park for the first time. How else would you expect Renegades to take the field? Here's what you need to know about the XFL. We've got an 8-team league with 2 divisions, the West and the East. Seattle, LA, Dallas, and Houston out west. And in the East, the St. Louis BattleHawks, the Tampa Bay Vipers, the New York Guardians, and the DC Defenders. And this, the final game of opening weekend. It's a 10-week regular season, $100,000 per game to the winners. Make our way to the playoffs, the West versus the East, and the championship coming your way April 26th on ESPN. And we couldn't be more excited to be here with you today. Tom Hart, Joey Galloway, Pat McAfee down on the field. Final game of opening weekend. What have you seen so far?
I don't know if it's sunk in yet. We have professional football in February, and I'll tell you what, these guys have only had roughly 40 practices, but the level of play has been outstanding. Now, I love the bells and whistles and the access we have, but what these guys have been able to put on the field has really stood out to me.
We put Pat McAfee down the field. Let's check in with him. Pat, what have you liked so far?
Tom and Joey, to say that the XFL kickoff weekend has been a smashing success would be an understatement. The quality of play has been next level, and the rules that have been tinkered a little bit. In a game like football, it's an institution. Anytime you change anything, normally it's going to be met by skeptics. Instead, rave reviews for all the changes that the XFL has had. If this is your first game of the weekend, buckle up. You're about to enjoy the hell out of the next couple hours here in Dallas. Back to you, Tom.
And we're doing it for the love of football. Bob Stoops back in the game for the love of football. A national championship, part of his 18-year run at Oklahoma. And if you're a Sooner in this state and they love you, you're doing something right. It's great to have him back.
Yeah, Bob Stoops missed the game of football. He said there isn't that much golf in the world. I disagree with him because I love to play golf, but he made it clear he is here to win. There is something different about a head football coach on game day. When I shook his hand down on the field, he is ready to go.
Let's go down the field. Pat has caught up with the Renegades head coach.
Coach Stoops, it's great to see you on a sideline yet again. The game of football has missed you. Now let's talk about today. Landry Jones, one of the faces of this league, your starting quarterback, is active, but he will not be playing. Instead, an Instagram model that just 6 months ago, and Philip Nelson will be your starting quarterback. What can you tell us about Landry, and what do you expect from Philip Nelson?
Not only an Instagram model, but an underwear model. So this will only enhance his followers.
What do you expect from Landry Jones? What happened with him? Why is he not starting today?
Well, he's been recovering from a knee injury. He's really close. Really feel good about it next week, but we'll wait and see on Monday. But he's cleared to play, but with the limited reps, we thought it'd be better to go with Philip Nelson first.
What type of player is Philip Nelson? What should people expect from him?
He's a really smart player. He's run this offense before. He's doing a great job for us, and he's really looked particularly good in the last 4 or 5 days.
Thanks, Coach. You're awesome.
Thanks for watching the Progressive Countdown to Kickoff. So the head coach is Bob Stoops of the Dallas team. One of his former assistants, Jonathan Hayes, a longtime NFL tight end who tutored under some of the great coaches in all of football. Bill Cowher, Marty Schottenheimer, and years on Bob Stoops' staff at Oklahoma, which includes a national championship, is taking the helm for his first game as a head coach. 28 years combined in the NFL as a player and coach. If you've tuned in this weekend, you know we do one thing differently at least, and that's the kickoff. Dallas will receive, and here's how we line it up. The St. Louis kicker, Taylor Russolino, will line up with the ball on the 35-yard line. He will be the only BattleHawk on the 35. His coverage team will line up at the opposite 35, and everybody has to be on the line, both the kicking team and the receiving team. This was designed to limit the injuries that occur with full speed coverage, and it's also designed and proven to get better returns so far in a small sample size. Taylor Russolino will get us started. Marquise Young back to receive it. And the XFL is here in Arlington, Texas, and we are underway. A booming kick that will carry to the back of the end zone, and a touchback taken by Dallas. You heard Bob Stoops talk about his first-string quarterback, Landry Jones, suffered a knee injury first day of camp. So Philip Nelson, a product of East Carolina University by way of the University of Minnesota, will get the first snap just like he did in practice. And he is very familiar with Hal Mummy's air raid offense.
Middle.
Nelson, 26 years old. A starter at Minnesota as a true freshman, where he took the Golden Gophers to a road win at Nebraska, and then under Ruffin McNeil learned the air raid year one in Greenville, North Carolina. And they're going to try to get it to Jeff Badette. Badette well covered, and Nelson finally gets it to him late. Jamil President had the pressure in the backfield.
And I think it's going to take a second for Philip Nelson to settle into this game. Had Badette early, could have given him the ball, held on to it. Didn't take a loss. Now it sets up a second and long, and you can see they're back on the ball and ready to go.
Nelson's professional experience includes time in the CFL with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 2018.
Tom, I talked to Hal Mummy, offense coordinator for the Dallas Renegades, before the game. He's looking to run 80 plays today. To get through that, you have to get on schedule, get some completions.
And they do. Up the sideline, and the first completion of the game goes for 12 yards. Flynn Nagel, product of Northwestern. Line closed at 9.5. Dallas not only the favorites in this game, but also the favorites to win the inaugural XFL championship.
Apple. 3. Boo. Apple.
Lance Dunbar, the longtime Dallas Cowboy, in the backfield, opposite of Cameron Artis-Payne.
Here we go. Go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Dunbar motions out, swing to him. Fantastic acrobatic catch, but it only turns into a 3-yard gain.
Roxy. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
And now on 2nd and 7, pressured again, looking for a screen, and they got some room for Dunbar. And Dunbar up the sideline for a Dallas first down on a gain of 9. 5 years with the Cowboys, and now game number 1 with the Renegades.
Yeah, you can tell the idea of how Mummy's offense get his athletic guys out in space. First play call for Badette, didn't get him the ball. He's their speed guy, and Dunbar's their best pass-catching running back, and now he's caught 2 passes in this game.
He was fantastic at North Texas. Also spent a year with the Los Angeles Rams, but had to fight his way through injuries throughout his professional career.
Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Opening drive for the Renegades. And Nelson comes near side to Jeff Badette, and Badette is near a first down. Darius Hillary with the stop. Hal Mummy is the offensive coordinator. He gets the air raid calls in quickly. This is a relatively simple offense for the father of the air raid, Hal Mumme.
Hey, opposite. Here we go. Monday.
2nd and 3. A first down run, Marquise Young. Hal Mumme.
H-Jet 6. Open H-Jet 6.
Not the biggest play sheet you've ever seen, Joey. It's about the side of an ace of spades.
Yeah, not the longest play call either. Real simple play call, and I think they'll keep it that way as long as Philip Nelson in the first quarter is playing his first game.
Easy, hey. No, we're good. 57. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Nelson's got Badette in the backfield. You can throw it forward twice.
Open, H-Fly 95. Open H-Fly 95.
Hey,
F-Leak. Marquise Young, remember, come out wide.
The communication between the coordinator isn't just to the quarterback, it's to all of the skill position players, so he can talk directly to his running back, number 22, Marquise Young, as well.
Here we go.
This access is insane, Tom.
Nelson to Marquise Young. And, Pat, it gives us an idea of the play that's coming before the snap even occurs.
Well, I've never wore a helmet with a microphone in it. I mean, I was a backup quarterback, not a starter. To hear the actual conversations has just been revolutionizing.
Roger.
And it helps a guy like Philip Nelson. He took the first-team snaps from the get-go for this Dallas team, but he can be tutored all the way up until the snap, even through the snap. In the NFL, that communication cuts off with 15 seconds on the play clock.
Here we go, let's go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
3rd down, 16, blitz coming. Nelson pressured, and they get to him and bring him down on 3rd down. It's a loss of 2. And the defense for Jay Hayes, aggressive on 3rd and long. Dwayne Hendricks comes up with the sack.
You might as well go for it in this situation. If you punt this football, if it goes out of bounds or goes into the end zone, they get it to the 35-yard line anyhow. You're at the 35. This is a surprise to me to not see them go for this here.
Joey, I was talking to both kickers and punters before the game. This is a tough end to kick into because of how windy it is. They're kind of in that no man's land, 3rd and long, 4th and long. Decided to play the field position game with a beautiful ball.
Great
checking up beautifully.
Baylor's Drew Galitz kills it, a 33-yard punt, and it's going to be a really long field for St. Louis.
And I guess if you can down it inside the 5, if your punter can do that consistently, then maybe we'll see more punts in this game.
And we're going to learn more and more. Pat on the back from Pat McAfee for Galitz, who once kicked with a torn ACL in college. Jordan Ta'amu is the St. Louis quarterback, a product out of Ole Miss and a native of Hawaii. Ta'amu, 2-year starter at Ole Miss. Undrafted free agent in 2019, went to camp with the Texans, but didn't stick. The throwing Samoan. He said, I love to throw, I love to move around. And he looked up to the original throwing Samoan, Jack Thompson at Washington State.
Crowds coming alive down here, Tom. These crowds all weekend have been magnetic.
Matt Jones is tailback. First touch for Jones. Product of the University of Florida, and he finds 5.
And the strength of this St. Louis team is in their backfield. They believe that they have running backs that can carry this football team with Christian Michael, with Matt Jones, even Keith Ford. If they can establish the running game, it'll get this offense going.
Jones, a 3rd-round pick of the Redskins out of Florida. Had a chance for the starting job there, but couldn't hold it. Pressure coming from the edge. Here's Jones. And a first down run out to the 20.
How about the blocking up front by this offensive line? And I asked Coach, could your offensive line be a ground and pound type of offense? And so far early, to get a big first down coming off the goal line, that is huge. Not only if they continue this drive, but it will help them flip the field if they do have to punt.
Time to throw. Beautiful pass and catch. Brandon Riley will turn it into a first down. The most dependable receivers for the BattleHawks are the guys that will line up in the slot.
And I love the play call. Run it 2 times. Establish that you want to be physical. Play action pass. Wide open. Slant behind. It clears up the defense. Makes an easy throw for Ta'amu.
Riley will head to the sideline, get checked out.
Monday. 180. What's up?
Here's Jones again. And he finds 2.5 yards on first down.
Hey, remember when we talked to offense coordinator Chuck Long yesterday? He said when he was looking at the other XFL teams play on TV, their offensive line, he felt very good about his offensive line. Obviously, he's showing that early little ground and pound here.
Jake Campos is left tackle, 6'7", 320 out of Iowa State. He was part of the Big 12's leading offense.
Sunday. Gotta go.
St. Louis trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Jones finds nothing up the middle. Greeted by Tony Garrard, 26-year-old out of UCF. Third down look for Jonathan Hayes, who was great on third down as a tight end for both the Chiefs and the Steelers in his playing career. Longtime coach on Marvin Lewis's staff at Cincinnati.
Let's go. 180. What's up?
On 3rd and 6, Tamu swings it out. And Christian Michael gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Asante Brown, another big stop for Dallas.
Ran a mesh route underneath. Tamu didn't see what he wanted to see, so he went to the check down. And Coach Chuck Long told us, look, just take your check downs. He's a young quarterback. He's getting his start in this league. This is a good drive, honestly. They got off of the goal line, and now they have a chance to pin Dallas deep. So you're pretty excited about what you just did if you're Chuck Long offensively.
Former Raider Marquette King to punt it away. Gerard Hurd, the former Texas quarterback, to receive, and this one will be caught and down inside the goal line. Saved it from going out of bounds. It's a 30-yard punt. That's the best one from King. Back to Arlington in a moment.
ESPN's presentation of the XFL is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
This is Globe Life Park. It opened in '94. It's hosted soccer before, but never football. Of course, the Rangers called it home for 26 years. They're moving right across the street. A $10 million renovation to get this set and ready for the Dallas Renegades.
Opposite.
Philip Nelson, the quarterback. Second possession for Dallas. And a handoff to Austin Walter, product out of Rice University.
They threw 8 passes and 1 run on their first possession. So now you come out, can you establish some run? You got to take some of the pressure off of Philip Nelson in this game and not make him a quarterback that feels like he has to carry this football team.
It's a Dallas offense that will likely look much different next week in L.A. when Landry Jones makes his debut.
Oh. Hey, John, you're on. You're off. Hurry, you're off. Fly. Here we go. Monday. Ready to go in.
Talking to Jazz Ferguson on the perimeter, and it goes to his tight end, and a catch for Sean Price, a 27-year-old out of the University of South Florida.
J-Lo.
What could J-Lo be?
Hey, right here.
Could be a lot of things.
Here we go.
We're about to find out.
On 3rd and 1, Dunbar got popped. President again. See where the spot is. We have a ball spotting official in the red hat. That is their sole job, to keep the tempo moving. It'll be short of a first down, and they're going to punt it away. Drew Galitz back on the field, first team All Big 12 punter at Baylor. DeMornay Pearsonell from the 15 to the 20 and out to the 21-yard line. 47-yard punt, 6 on the return. Tigray Scales with the special team stop. So here's Jordan Ta'amu, 19 games at Ole Miss. He threw for 5,600 yards, a backup to Shea Patterson the beginning of his junior year. Then when Patterson was injured, Ta'amu took the job from him, transferred to Michigan.
Illegal block below the waist. Receiving team, number 25. That penalty would be half the distance to the goal. First down.
James Carter, a referee out of the SEC. So you mentioned, Joey, that was a successful drive for St. Louis last time. 6 plays, 34 yards to get away from the goal line. Now Jonathan Hayes' team backed up again.
Yeah, you don't want to put your young quarterback in this situation. Penalties will hurt you and put you back. The first drive, 4 runs, 2 passes. Coach told us the strength of their team is in their backfield, and if they can lean on their running backs and then open up the play action pass, Tom will be a really good quarterback in this league.
Keith Ford on the field for the first time. Running back behind Ta'amu. And Ford tries to motor his way through. A pickup of 3. Chuck Long is the offensive coordinator for St. Louis.
All right, let's go 11. Trips right far, 501 jet trail. Trips right far, 501 jet trail.
501, 501. Let's go, get set, get set. Get set, get set. Hey, Sunday, say Sunday. Sunday, Sunday. There you go.
5 wide. Ta'amu goes to the out route, and it's dropped off the hands of Ford and nearly picked off by Dallas.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Third down.
That's a low ball coming out to your running back, Matt Jones. And you want your running back to catch the ball out of the backfield. You have to help him out, put it around their numbers, make it an easier catch, and a big hit on the sideline. Now it sets up a 3rd and long. And again, putting pressure on your young quarterback to make a play a little further downfield.
On 3rd and 7, Ta'amu has time. And he lobs one down the sideline. Flag on the play, trying to get it to LaDamian Washington. Josh Hawkins had the coverage.
Move those chains, Tom Hart.
Before the pass, holding, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Oh, what a big difference holding versus pass interference. Would have had it for a lot further down the field.
That's what Ta'amu brings to the table is his ability to scramble, get out the pocket, extend the play. Now you're asking your defensive backs to play man-to-man coverage on these receivers, and that's where you get these kind of penalties.
I've been very impressed with Ta'amu. I talked to him during the break when they were on the sideline here. Very calm, very cool. He's 22 years old. His first 2 professional drives are backed up, extending the play there, getting a penalty. Off to a good start.
Here's Matt Jones with the carry, and he gets past the line of scrimmage for a yard. Talking with Jordan Ta'amu and his veteran wide receiver, LaDamian Washington, yesterday. And LaDamian was so impressed with everything that Jordan has been able to handle as a young quarterback.
I realize these teams don't have a lot of film to watch on one another, and so they're filling each other out early in this game. Really, Dallas realizes now St. Louis wants to establish the run. They're bringing more guys into the pocket, and it'll set up a 2nd and long. And now if you're Dallas's defense, you feel like things are in your favor.
And bring an extra man. Ta'amu going deep again. Nice touch, and it is hauled in up the sideline. Alonzo Russell with a first down catch and a gain of 29. They went after Josh Hawkins at corner again.
Alonzo Russell is a guy that's 6'4". He's the guy that you get close to the goal line. They want to throw balls up, let him go get them. You can see the size. It's pretty good coverage. Great throw by Ta'amu to the outside of the receiver where only he can get it, and then the length of Russell at 6'4" brings the ball in on the sideline.
A double move with a pump fake. Ta'amu drops it in a bucket there.
Only need 1 foot down in the XFL for it to be a completion. Dallas runs a couple guys off late. Running game, nothing doing. Chris and Michael, the product of Texas A&M, loses a yard.
That'd be really surprised to see Chuck Long go with another run. If they get another first down, they've run the ball. And I'll be really surprised if he does it again because they are putting guys in the box.
602, follow spot. Right Trout, 602, follow spot.
Second possession for St. Louis.
Sunday! Sunday! Ready to go!
Here comes pressure up the middle. Tamu with a laser that's just past the reach of his intended receiver, Marcus Lucas. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
We were talking to Chuck Long yesterday. He said Tamu, when he gets to the top of his drop, sometimes he has a hitch or he waits a little bit. You can tell if he's confident or not. He let that one fly right at the top of his drop.
901 Viper switch. Dual left. 901 Viper switch.
Just a little bit too much heat there. Now you get a long 3rd down.
Yeah, and the Vipers 4 verticals in this offense. And so you'll look for Tamu to see if he can read. It's a 3 deep coverage, so you're thinking inside to the inside receivers on the verticals and see if they can get.
Tamu on the run. He's going to try to run for it. Needs to get to the 45. He does, plus more. And Jordan Tamu did it so well in college, using his legs to stretch the defense. Picks up 17 and a St. Louis first down.
And this is the difference between Tamu and most quarterbacks in this league. You see the verticals going downfield. DBs are soft. Tamu brings his eyes down. He's locating the rush and finding out where he can get outside the pocket and pick up a huge first down.
DBs are soft?
The coverage was soft.
Okay, clarification. Yeah. Into Dallas territory. Here's LaDainian Washington. Been a long, windy road for LaDainian Washington. Released from 4 different professional teams over 3 years. From the NFL to the CFL, the AAF. They'll go 4 wide, and Washington will get a breather for St. Louis.
Ready to go!
Ooh, and they're getting ready to set something up.
Snap infraction. Offense. Number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remains second.
We've got Brian Folkerts, the center, out of Washburn, and a St. Louis native, Mike. Played his high school ball at Hazelwood Central. A return home for Folkerts.
Hey, gap 58. Scoop safety.
180. What's up?
Michael gets taken down again, and they pile in on him. And the football came loose. Dallas came away with it. And we'll see if he was ruled down. Jonathan Calvin out of Mississippi State recovered it. And the fun part of the XFL, each football is branded per team.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down by contact. Second down.
So that means if you're a defensive player and you get a takeaway, you get a trophy. You get to keep the football. Pat, what'd you see?
You know what I like about the XFL is whenever they review plays, like they're probably going to do for this, we hear the ref and the officials talk it through. I think he popped back up to his feet and then the ball came out.
The ruling on the field, runner was down by contact. The previous play is under further review.
A defensive recovery, okay. All right. All right, you see that, James? You good with that? He is not touched. James, how you doing over here? You with us, James? Yeah,
Mike Chase is a replay official on the left.
Here we go. So the runner slid down. He was not contacted. As he's going to get up, we have no contact. The ball is out. And we have a defensive recovery, correct? Okay, so we're just going to get you a spot. We're going to reverse this and give it to the defense. We're going to give you a spot. Looks like, let's go with the 36-yard line coming out. So we're going to reverse this. The runner was down, got back up and lost the ball, however you want to describe that. And then we're going to reverse this and give it to them at the 36. Good with that? All right, smile pretty.
So that's how the sausage is made.
What a terrible end to a drive.
After review, the runner went down, got back up, and was not touched by the defense. The ball was knocked out and recovered by the defense at the 36-yard line. It will be first down.
Jonathan Calvin with the recovery.
I love the efficiency of the review. Let's just simply take a look at it. We hear the conversation, what it is. Let me give you a spot, get the ball back, and you switch. Wasn't a huge delay, keeps the game going, and they make the correct call, which is really what matters.
Joey, a lot of people have talked about the kickoff being their favorite change, the punt, maybe the overtime, the extra point. For me, that transparency right there is a game changer that needs to be adopted everywhere. Stat.
Might be onto something. Philip Nelson back at the helm, completes that one into Flynn Nagel, and Nagel gets taken out after a gain of 3. Will Hill, the safety, is one of 3 captains on the St. Louis team, came up with the stop. Well, how's that for tempo? Dallas can try to squeeze one more play off before the quarter comes to an end. Four-man rush, Nelson over the middle, and he goes to his big tight end, and it's a gain of 10. Donald Parham, the 6'8", 22-year-old out of Stetson. The Hatters got a first down. Bob Stoops is back in football, and we're a quarter in to the final game of opening weekend in the XFL. The XFL is here in Arlington, Texas, and there's a Sooner flavor to this. Landry Jones will be the starting quarterback next week. He's standing by with Pat.
Landry Jones, obviously the world was anticipating your start today. Can't do it because of the knee. What have you seen from Phil in this offense that you've been trying to help out a little bit?
Man, Phil's doing a great job right now, taking what the defense is giving him, so I think he's doing great.
What has Hal Mummy's offense been like trying to get involved in?
It's been great. Hal's great at keeping things simple and doing what we do best, you know, so he's done a really good job, and I'm getting real comfortable in it.
Do you mind hanging out here for a little bit while we watch your guys play a little bit?
Sure, we'll hang out.
My guy.
Incomplete. Philip Nelson has only missed twice now, 9 of 11, Pat.
So he's 9 of 11. He's doing great, but everybody's anticipating your return. When will you be back, do you know?
You know, I think I'm going to try to go next week and see how I feel, go and practice and stuff like that, and actually get some reps underneath me.
5 years with the Steelers. Then were you working construction is what I heard, and then you came out here?
Yeah, so kind of fell into doing some construction stuff. Started making tables in the off-season and stuff like that, and then just really liked doing it. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do it after football, let's get some experience in doing it.
What did you learn from being away from the game that you've taken back here?
I mean, I don't know if I learned anything in the construction that correlates over to football, but it was really fun ripping up drywall and replacing tubs and doing all that stuff.
That's what the XFL is all about, Tom. Okay? A redemption story. Landry Jones is one of the faces of this league, was ripping up drywall just a few months ago, and he's going to sling it next week for the Dallas Renegades. Yeah. Big first down pickup for Phil Nelson.
I missed it.
Freddie Martino with a catch.
Hal's offense is one of the most basic offenses I've ever heard be called. Is there a lot going on or very simple to pick up for Phil?
No, I think that's the beauty of it. It's really simple. I mean, they know what we're going to do. We're just doing it better than they are.
Well, it's 0-0, Landry, so have a little bit of respect. I mean,
I'm sorry about this.
I appreciate you, Landry.
Oh, Pat, good job. We're going to be interested to see Landry on the field next week when Dallas goes out to L.A. next Sunday. The all-time leading passer in Oklahoma history.
The runner was down by contact at the 36-yard line. It'll be first down.
So they'll back it up a little bit. So the big catch by Freddie Martino, who played Division II football in North Greenville.
Yeah, Frisco 41, Frisco 41.
You know, I thought Landry would say, like, I missed the game, was excited to get back. Didn't learn anything, Tom.
He learned how to drive a dump truck and take it to the landfill after they got finished demoing houses on renovations. Cameron Artis-Payne picks up 3. And I think, Pat, what we're learning about a lot of these guys is if they were in the NFL and they didn't get snaps, especially as a quarterback, they didn't get those reps and they weren't able to feed that competitive fire watching somebody else start every week. And if you're behind Ben Roethlisberger, there are very few reps to get.
Yeah, and it really depends on where you end up a lot of times. And so if you go to Pittsburgh behind Ben, you're not going to see the field much.
Here comes pressure from the edge. Nelson swings it out. Cameron Artis-Payne.
Hey, roll, boy.
Nelson's now 13 of 15. But he's not going downfield. It's only 66 yards. And so if you want to get this offense going, eventually Nelson's going to have to take that shot downfield that we just haven't seen yet.
Here we go.
7 plays so far in this drive, all of them through the air. 3rd and 5.
Monday. Ready, go in.
Edge pressure again. They run it the opposite way. First run of this drive.
Hey, we're going.
Blue 92. Blue 92. Get the first down now. It's 4th down.
Blue, Tiger Linda. Tiger Linda.
Blue 92. Blue 92.
Here we go. Ozzie choice. Ozzie choice.
Jay Hayes on the left, Hal Mummy on the right. 4th and 3. Nelson completes it as it go for 4th down and turn it in. First catch for Jazz Ferguson.
Ferguson is 6'5", and you can see Nelson gets back and cuts the ball loose. The 900s are the quick routes. Get the ball out of his hands. He said get the first down and only need a few yards. And so it's a great play call now to get back on the ball and see if they can keep this momentum going.
Austin Walter in the backfield next to Marquise Young. Both great receivers out of the backfield.
Monday. Ready, go in.
And Nelson will do that. Here's Young. Picks up 4.
Let's go. Blue H-Jet 31. Blue H-Jet 31.
Here we go. Ozzie Jade. Ozzie Jade.
All the skill position players on offense have the headsets in their helmets. 6 players on the defense have the headsets. So there's additional signage, especially on the defensive side. Straight ahead run. Marquise Young out of Massachusetts picks up 4. Jake Payne the stop.
Hey, right here. Croc. Hey, right here. Russia. 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 Hey, ready. Russia.
12th play of the drive.
Line up. Here we go. Yeah. Linda. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead. Go. Hey, Tiger Linda. Hey, right here. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Pressure coming. Nelson dumps it over the middle. The pass is bobbled and intercepted, but they say it hit the turf. Kenny Robinson, the product out of West Virginia, tried to scoop it up quickly. Couldn't fool the officials.
4th down.
And I can see Pat right down there on the 4-yard line. Pat, what do you got?
I saw a ref just get hit right in the face by Kenny Robinson after trying to make the call there. Ball definitely hit the ground. Kenny Robinson is swarming, though. He's one of the great stories of this league. And I don't know if he's going to be a case study or if this is going to be an option, but 2 years of West Virginia, come here. He's probably going to be a top-round draft pick in the NFL, trying to show himself in professional football.
More on that story in a moment. 32-yard field goal attempt for Austin McGinnis, the pride of Big Blue Nation. And McGinnis punches it through for the first points for the Dallas Renegades, and the Kentucky product has the Renegades out front after a 13-play, 50-yard drive. 3-0 Dallas. And we are a weekend into the XFL, coming at you next week as the New York Guardians travel to the nation's capital to take on the DC Defenders Saturday at 2 on ABC. And Saturday on Fox, Tampa Bay will take on Seattle. Renegades out west to take on the Los Angeles Wildcats on ABC, and St. Louis will be in Houston as they continue their opening season road trip on FS1. Pat McAfee.
Phil, you are 15 of 18 right now. Only 3 points on the board. What do we need to do to score some more points here for the Dallas Renegades?
We just got to capitalize in the red zone. You know, we're driving the field. We're getting the looks that we want. They're not lining up correctly to our air raid offense, and, you know, that's our philosophy. And we just got to capitalize down in the red zone, really.
We talked to Hal yesterday. He said, I got to get my athletes in space. It seems like you've been doing that a lot. The first game, obviously, but you've had 7 weeks of practice. Who's somebody you look to in a big-time situation, you think?
Oh, man, we got too many. But, Cam Artis-Payne in space is going to be really dangerous. Really, all of our running backs are incredible. All of our receivers do different things really well. So, Coach Mummy does a really good job of putting our players in spaces where they'll succeed. So
you're a couple series in. Is this a better life than being an Instagram model?
Absolutely.
Keep it going.
And he won Lion, Pat. He's got a lot of favorite receivers. Of those 15 completions, they've gone to 9 different receivers here in this game. Pickup of 3 for Christian Michael out of Texas A&M. Strong start for Philip Nelson, talking with his wide receiver Flynn Nagel. Meanwhile, Jordan Ta'amu and the St. Louis BattleHawks are trying to find some offense. Ta'amu 4 of 6 through the air.
I was going to try to get out there, but yeah. Sunday! Ready to go?
Here comes pressure from the safety. Toss to Keith Ford. And Ford will try to muscle his way towards the marker, held just short. It's a pickup of 6. That's going to leave 3rd and 1.
You see the Dallas defense now is expecting St. Louis to try to run the football. You said the safety is coming downhill. They're trying to get more guys in the box. They want to put pressure on Ta'amu to make plays down the field. Now, their last drive, he did a really nice job, got 2 really big first downs, and then they turned the ball over. So now can they get their momentum back and get the chains moving and get their quarterback back in a rhythm?
They've been run heavy of 17 plays, 11 on the ground. Nick Fitzgerald was going to take it. 3rd string quarterback. He was a fantastic runner at Mississippi State. And Fitzgerald has his own Wildcat package.
Fitzgerald has 13 school records at Mississippi State. A lot of those running the football. He's a bigger kid, and when he's in the game, expect him to run the football.
Went to camp with the Texans, but had a hamstring injury when he started out here with the BattleHawks. An Ole Miss quarterback and a Mississippi State quarterback in the same system.
Ready. Sunday. Ready to go.
Ta'amu on play action. Incomplete. His offensive coordinator, Chuck Long, a great quarterback in his playing days at
11.
Iowa.
Double right punch even, grab soda, VIP. Double right punch even, grab soda, VIP.
Punch even.
So obviously 11, the personnel grouping that he's communicating not just to the quarterback but everybody else in the field.
And Soto's a pop pass. And so they want to get this ball out quick, maybe catch a tight end over the middle behind the linebackers.
On the RPO, he'll hand it off, and it's Michael, and we got a flag on the play back at around the offensive line.
Down there, right there, looks like he's down. Yep, we'll get it.
Good job, Frank.
Holding. Offense. Number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 2nd down.
James Carter's our referee. The center judge is Amanda Sauer-Cook. Every officiating crew in the XFL has at least one female member. Amanda Sauer-Cook made her collegiate debut in Conference USA, now works Big Ten games.
Also, can we give a little love to the ball spotter? 100% a ball spotter out here?
100%, trying to keep the game moving.
I like the gig.
Ta'amu has time. And that one kicked as he tries to ground it. Crystal Coxey is our ball spotter. She does not possess the flag. Her only job is to try to keep this tempo moving by getting the ball on the ground and getting it spotted.
Another great part of this game, you have to worry about officials chasing down a football. There is a person that spots the ball and just keeps things moving.
There's a lot of confused look on the refs right now. Oh.
3rd and 20. Any idea what's going on down there, Pat?
I have no idea. I'm trying to make eye contact with the ref here. No, it's not because I'm on the field. There's no way it's my fault.
Could be wondering, why is there a linebacker-looking guy wearing all black standing around the 10-yard line behind us with a camera?
Yeah. Bolo ties are not part of the official personnel uniform.
You notice I went linebacker, Pat. Giving you a lot of credit.
Yeah, I look like a D lineman right now. I understand. I'm getting yelled at to get off the field after being told to be more aggressive. So I don't understand the rules.
That's a surprise, Pat. Who would want to kick you off the field?
It's always easier to ask forgiveness and permission.
No grounding. Number 33 was in the area of the pass. We'll reset the game clock to 6:50.
So that's what the discussion was about. So, Pat, you're in the clear.
24 from the Renegades just said, tell them to throw it to me, man. So, I mean, I guess I'm supposed to relay that message to Tamu.
6:50 on the game clock. 6:50. Thank you.
Huh.
Tresson Deku out of Oregon State, that defensive back you're talking about. Third and 20 for Jordan Tamu, and we'll stop the play before it can get started. Movement on the St. Louis offensive line.
False start.
False start. Offense. Number 15. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Fourth penalty against St. Louis here in this first half.
That's been an issue for St. Louis. They've been able to move the ball, and then they have a penalty, they have a turnover. And so the issues that they're having, and we talked about it early, they've only been together, 40-some-odd practices, and you can see it. A team on the road is struggling with some of the finer details of the offense right now.
And of those practices, they only went full contact once. Strong arm to the outside, well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 11. They needed 25. Keith Mumphrey out of Michigan State. And so that'll bring on the punter, Marquette King. Pat, Marquette King had a lot of success in the NFL, and now here he is in the XFL. What about his story?
Yeah, I love Marquette. I've known him literally since he was a teenager. Had a lot of success at Oakland, got named All-Pro by the media. Got hurt whenever he went over to Denver, fell out of the league. I think he fell out of love with kicking balls, and now he's back into it. I'm happy to see him getting back in the game. Looking to see him bomb a ball unlike that one.
Taken at the 30-yard line by Gerard Hurd. Former quarterback at the University of Texas has a solid return of 12 yards. 5:44 to go in the first half, and a flag on the play back at the 34-yard line.
Illegal block below the waist. Kicking team, number 22. That'll be a 10-yard penalty into the run. First down.
These XFL balls are not easy to punt, Tom. Very different than the NFL and college.
What's the difference?
Well, they made them a little bit thinner, so it's easier to throw, which makes it a smaller sweet spot. So if you miss at all, it's a big miss, especially with these swirly winds. I think we've seen that thus far.
You know what else is a sweet spot? The under. 52.5 is the number. It's 3-0 in the second. First down for the Dallas Renegades. 3-0 Dallas lead with 5:44 to go in the second quarter. Kenny Robinson plays free safety for this St. Louis team. 21-year-old is the first player with college eligibility to enter the XFL. Pro Football Focus had him allowing the lowest passer rating and coverage among Big 12 safeties. Academically ineligible for West Virginia.
Eligible player.
And so instead of transferring, because he wasn't in good academic standing, he decided he was going to try to find a way to play. And as he enters the NFL draft, we've got a double pass option, but it's kept by Lance Dunbar and no gain. And so Kenny Robinson is going to be a fascinating story to follow as we move closer to the NFL draft this spring.
He is all Big 12 in 2018, as you mentioned, a tremendous player. And I was talking to defensive back coach Tim Luce, and they don't know if they'll have him. He's that good with the draft coming up in April. They don't know if he'll stick out the season with this team. Absolute NFL talent, and they look for him to, if he's not here with them this entire season, he is an NFL player, especially from a talent standpoint.
Robinson in on the tackle. Got to get ready quick again.
Kenny Robinson not scared to throw his body around either. I mean, he is an incredible safety. And I think that's the difference with this XFL this time. The quality of play this weekend has been fantastic.
66 is still
the amount of players in here that are going to go to the league, that come from the league, I mean, it's been a hell of a success.
Fourth down, they keep the offense on the field, and they try to run it every play. Lance Dunbar gets stopped, and they will turn it over on downs.
That's a huge play by the St. Louis defense.
The ball will go over on downs.
The offense has struggled. They've had some penalties. But they're only down 3-0. They haven't played their best football, but if you're Chuck Long, you're thinking, we can put something together here. We're right back in this game.
Drive down this field and score. We're scoring right here. Let's go.
It's a 3-0 lead. The favorites, Dallas. Saturday on ABC, Week 2 of the XFL season begins in our nation's capital as the New York Guardians tackle national champion Cardale Jones and the DC Defenders. Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern on ABC and also streaming live on the ESPN app. Cardale Jones, 291 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So far, every home team has won in the XFL on this opening weekend.
Every under is also hit, Tom.
Good call. Tamu hands it off. And room on the left side for Matt Jones. It's a pickup of 9. Odds makers really had a hard time with this, Pat, because they didn't know much about these teams, and some people thought Landry Jones was going to start. And with an over-under at 52.5, we're going to come in way under if this pace continues.
I mean, I never want to, jinx something, but I feel like the underbettors are very comfortable right now at 3-0 in the second quarter.
We're going to whistle before the play.
Coach of the BattleHawks just said a naughty word over here.
Don't tell his mom.
Offense is number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Jake Campos, left tackle out of Iowa State. Third false start for the BattleHawks. We mentioned the fact that there wasn't much contact in these camps, only one day for these teams. That was handed down by the XFL, trying to keep guys healthy. You would think that has a negative impact on the offensive line.
And it's the timely penalties that are hurting them. They get an 8-yard run, set up a second and short. All of a sudden, the penalty sets them back. Now they're behind the chains. But if you can run the ball and your offensive line blocks that way, it doesn't matter as they run for 9 yards.
DeMornay Pearson L with the carry. He's playing with a heavy heart today. His grandmother, who raised him, just passed away this week. And he will salute her if he can find the end zone today as he plays in this game with heavy emotions. Quarterback draw. Jordan Ta'amu slides down. And a gain of 6. St. Louis's offense seems seemingly at their best when he uses his legs.
Yeah, they really are. And that is their second straight first down where they picked up big yards. And now on a second and short, eventually Coach Chuck Long is going to take his shot downfield. And now that they're across the 50-yard line, this is usually when offensive coordinators want to take that shot. Maybe he didn't hear me.
Matt Jones, well, maybe he heard you this time. We can hear him.
All right, let's go. Let's go 21 personnel with 36. All right, let's go yellow 24 lock, VIP. Yellow 24 lock, VIP.
Take it. Let's go. Sunday. Ready to go.
Chuck Long could talk all the way up to the snap. We asked him about it yesterday as they pick up the first down, and he said, I don't want to be in my quarterback's ear too much.
Double right. 901, 8 shallow, Z post. 901, 8 shallow, Z post.
Chuck Long second in the Heisman voting to Bo Jackson in 1985.
Monday.
You heard Z post at the end of that play call. That's LaDamian Washington. And we got the 2-minute warning. We'll see if they'll draw up something different as they come out of this break. Dallas 3, St. Louis nothing. Opening weekend of the XFL. Inside 2 minutes, Dallas 3, St. Louis nothing. Pat McAfee has football royalty on the sideline. Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is the handsome NFL Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Troy, XFL kickoff weekend here, 2020. What do you think?
I think it's great. It's exciting to have football here, and after the NFL season. I watched some of the games last night. Come here tonight, support my guy Daryl Moose Johnston and his team, the Renegades, and it's been fantastic.
You said you were sitting in the box with him, getting a little inside information. He's the acting general manager, basically, for this team for Stoops. What have you learned?
Well, I've learned that it happens all really, really fast. A 25-second play clock, which I love. I think there are some things within this game I think the kickoff is interesting. A lot of the things that the NFL is hoping to adopt, I think it's a chance to see how it is executed at this level, and I think we might see some of it.
The transparency of the refs and reviews, I like a lot. I would assume you agree in that type of thing. Will you see the transformation, you think, from the XFL rules to the NFL, and how quickly do you think that happens?
I think we will. And it gives the NFL a chance to kind of see how it's adopted here in the XFL and how it's received and how it works and all those things. Dean Blandino, of course, he's been involved.
Hands up, Troy. Jeez, Troy. Get out of the way, Troy.
You're going to get me killed over here, aren't you?
Troy's like 120 pounds right now. He looks incredible. Last question before we let you go. How about the communications from the coach to all of the players on the offense? Do you think that's something the NFL should adapt?
I like it. Now, I was told it was not all the players, but most of the players. I'd like to see it adopted to all the players. I think it's somewhat of a game changer. I'd like to see the coaches be able to talk to the defensive players, all of them as well. I think I don't see any reason why that would be necessarily a negative. I think it's a real positive. So I like I think this league's got a real chance, and you're involved, so that gives me hope.
All right, Troy. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
The best.
Troy used to have an office in this stadium, and he has a restaurant across the street. Obviously, he owns this town. I will go visit Troy's. Big thanks to Troy Aikman. Seems like everybody in the NFL royalty loves the XFL, by the way.
Pat, if you would have gotten Troy Aikman killed, your picture would have been on every post office in this entire state.
Yeah, but why didn't Pat protect Troy? Pat took off running. Troy didn't even know what was going on, and Pat took off.
Hey, you hear those shots, you got to run, Joey, okay?
Come on, Pat.
Got a game clock issue, so they need to put a little bit more time. There are
1:43.
Separate 2-minute rules in this comeback period.
He doesn't get the delay now because it was administrative. So now we start it because they've already had that. Yeah.
Clock's supposed to stop after every play under 2 minutes.
Yep, including the ones that finish inside the field of play. LaDamian Washington out of Missouri picks up the first down. Here's how it breaks down. Try to give the team that's trailing more time at the end of each half. If it ends in the field of play, the game clock will stop for the ball spot in a 5-second runoff of the play clock. And then an incomplete passes and out of bounds. As usual, the game clock will stop until the ball is snapped. It's like the college game.
1:34 on the game clock, and the clock will start on my signal.
Okay. Going to wind it when he's patiently ready.
Think so.
10th play of the drive for St. Louis. Keith Ford breaks through, and Keith Ford takes it into the end zone. A 16-yard touchdown run to give St. Louis its first ever lead.
In a play that looked like it was going to be stopped. And we talked about there hadn't been much tackling by these teams in camp. And so each coaching staff was concerned, how would the tackling be? Pretty good so far in this game, but on this touchdown, completely missed the tackle.
So now the point afters give the teams options. You can go for 1 from the 2, 2 from the 5, or 3 from the 10.
St. Louis has elected to try.
And it's interesting talking to the coaching staffs. They're all using different analytics and trying to figure out where the most value is. St. Louis thinks it's from the 5-yard line.
And Chuck Long said, might as well go for 2. That was his analytics. We might as well go for 2. We'll see how it works out.
So there wasn't much of a difference in the success rate between the 2-yard line and the 5-yard line. Tamu, fade route, looking for Washington. Diving catch, but out of bounds. And so St. Louis fails to convert.
Rolling, guys, rolling.
Here's what the touchdown looked like from Keith Ford. Ford in and out of traffic, and right through the would-be tackle of Teni Adewuse. Jonathan Hayes' BattleHawks have their first score.
If you're St. Louis, with the penalties you've had, you've turned the ball over, and to be up 6-3 late in this half, if your defense can get out here and hold Dallas for this last minute and 20, how excited is your locker room going to be to have a lead in this game when you know offensively you haven't played well?
There's another part to that excitement. We told you at the beginning, each winning team will split $100,000 per victory. So it's for the love of football and more. So that's no man's land, the difference between the kicker and his coverage and the return team. And of all the kickoffs we've had over this opening weekend, we've only had one first major touchback that came earlier in this game and was the 28th kickoff of opening weekend. Taylor Russolino out of Millsaps College. Austin Walter from the goal line. And Walter is able to take it out to the 26.
I am on the sideline here with Jordan Tuamu, who just got dapped up for leading the team. Your first half of professional football coming to an end here with a touchdown. How do you feel out there?
I feel good. Never had much possession going in. So as soon as we start moving, I think our offense is really good as a team. So once we get the ball, we're going to keep driving and move fast.
Oh, so you were moving, then you guys would shoot yourselves in the foot, it seemed like earlier, then you finally get it in there. What are you looking to take into the second half, you think?
Hey, less penalties, less false starts, and just keep moving as an offense, as a team, and we all play together, and no penalties, like I said. So
I like where his head's at, Tom. I really do. He's such a calm guy for being 22.
Yeah, he's chill. I mean, what is he, Hawaiian? Yes, he is. He went to New Mexico Military College. He said, I was so frustrated, I wanted to quit at one point, but we had to shave our heads, and I couldn't imagine going back home with a shaved head.
That was a real excuse, by the way.
Under a minute to go in this first half. Pressure coming on Nelson. And he gets rid of it to the opposite side. Donald Parham is a freak. 6'80", 240 pounds. He's 5 inches taller than your average NFL tight end.
Dog, Linda. Dog.
He's got a 7-foot wingspan, and Hal Mummy said the hardest thing with him is our quarterbacks aren't throwing it high enough. You can't overthrow Parham. There's Parham again. Here's Hal Mummy again.
Open, 6'8", shallow.
How can an offense that's so effective be so simple?
And he calls us shallow. So, again, they're keeping these passes nice and short. Nelson's 19 of 22 just for 105 yards, and he's completing these balls because they're just 5-yard catches, and then his guys out in space got to make plays.
They'll drop 8. Parham again, a first down.
Get on the ball. Open 6. Open 6. Think about giving him a comeback.
Open 6. Verticals on the outside. He told his quarterback, think about the comeback. Give your outside guys a signal to run a comeback. If you don't, they'll go deep.
I asked Hal Mummy why the number 6. He said, simple. Let's go get 6. Clock rolling. Out of the backfield. Cameron Artis-Payne trying to find the sideline. And he gets popped. The clock will stop.
Let's go open 31. Open 31.
Open. Hey, banana.
Dexter McCoy the stop.
Banana. Hey, one. Hey. Banana. Here we go.
And play will be stopped.
Hey. Sit.
Philip Nelson can catch his breath. Timeout, St. Louis.
That was Tampa 2.
First charge timeout, St. Louis. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I was talking to Nelson yesterday, and he was telling me they have like 25 hand signals that he can give his receivers on any play, any pass play. So they had 4 verticals called. They didn't get the coverage they wanted to get. There's no hand signal, so he went to the check down.
Hey, huddle. Hey, we hit 31. You clutched up for the 20. We gotta get Hey, banana. Second level, quick. What is it? I'm on it. Banana. 2. Hey, 1 for y'all. 1.
Big banana team, Tom Hart. Big banana team.
Let's see if they find any potassium on this play.
Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Cameron Artis-Payne finds room and straight up the middle. And the former Auburn product takes it inside the 10. There's a flag back at the 25-yard line. 22-yard run if it stands.
Yeah. Let's see.
Holding against the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Didn't get the number but a killer penalty against St. Louis.
Yes.
Yesterday when we talked to Hal Mummy about him, creating the air raid offense and revolutionizing football, I said, what's a misperception? He said that we don't like to run the ball. They love to run the ball. Now, granted, that would have been massive there. Holding brings it back.
Celesi Uhatafe, the left guard.
Look for the shot.
Yeah.
Now, he did call it air raid, though, so it's not really like a run first name.
No, they could have called it ground raid, right? Ground attack.
We'll do either raid. It's a good drive, though, for the Dallas Renegades here before this half ends.
Yeah, on the snap, on the snap. They ran the clock.
20.
Yeah.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 20 seconds. 20 seconds on the game clock. The clock will start on the snap. Thank you.
Disembodied voice you heard came from Mike Chase up in the replay booth, communicating with our referee, James Carter.
And I've said it once, and I can't say it enough. I love the efficiency of these officials.
Mm-hmm.
It is quick. Put it back to 20. Let's go. Keep the game going.
It makes sense, Joey.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we go. Monday.
St. Louis showing pressure.
Ready, go ahead.
They only bring 4. Nelson, quick hitter. He's able to find Nagel, who spins free, picks up a Dallas first down, 14 on the clock.
First charge time out of the half, Dallas. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So the Renegades will talk about it.
30 seconds on the timeout.
You guys get out. 59, double buzz. Darius, get him on the ground. Here we go. Frisco drop.
St. Louis going to bring pressure here.
Buzz is usually the underneath coverage. They're telling their defense backs to buzz underneath some of these crossing routes. They see that the offense so far for Dallas has been a lot of shorter routes trying to get guys out in space. So they're telling their guys to buzz, which means try to take away the stuff underneath.
Coming out of the timeout, 14 seconds left in the half.
Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Nelson has it tipped. It's still caught. Jazz Ferguson trying to make a guy miss. 8 seconds remain in the half. No gain. Devontae Lambert batted it. That cost Bob Stoops' team. And they'll bring the field goal unit out.
Final timeout of the half, Dallas. 30-second timeout.
Interesting with the play clock rules, you figure with 8 seconds you could still get another pass play off before you had to come out and kick.
Yeah, but you'd want to get that pass play to the end zone. And so from the 24-yard line to try to get one to the end zone, you're cutting it close with 8 seconds left.
Tom, I was kind of thinking like you. With the clock stopping, if you can get a play quick, get them down, maybe 6-second play, gain some yards for your kicker here, and the Swirly wins. But I think that's the thing about the XFL. The strategy is going to have to grow, you know?
Austin McGinnis, a registered financial advisor, also hosts a podcast about Kentucky football. And Yaka, he's got 2 field goals in the first half, and all the scoring for Dallas comes off the leg of the former Kentucky Wildcat.
Let's go.
32-yarder and a 42-yarder. The only thing more excited for Austin McGinnis was when he and the other special teams guys got to meet Pat McAfee yesterday. That was big for him, Pat.
Yeah, you know, I say dumb things into microphones, and a lot of kickers and punters enjoy it, but this kid's really good. I think the XFL has a high-quality kicking group, and I think that's big for the game, obviously. Good for the brand, good for the game, and this is my type of football here. 6-6 in the first half.
McGinnis, and this is interesting, he's had chances in the NFL. He kicked in the AAF last time, 4 for 4 his first time out. The Bears brought him in when Cody Parkey had issues. He's part of Chicago's rookie camp before that, and they had a one-day kicking derby. He lost out on that, but it seems like a position that would transition easily to the next level, Pat, if you can show consistency.
The big thing is in between the ears. That's all it is. And when you get an opportunity, you have to take advantage of it. This XFL is providing a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys. They have to take advantage of it. And then if they get the call up to the NFL, that's when you have to make kicks. Austin McGinnis, Russolino, you got some really talented ball kickers here. It's just all about consistency. And I think they've shown that here so far this far.
McGinnis with the kickoff. They got to wait till it's fielded before they can move, and it won't be fielded. And a major touchback with 3 seconds left in the half.
That's smart, by the way, Tom. Kick it out. Make them go into a Hail Mary. Let's not get crazy with this new kickoff rule and allow your returner to bust one open here when you just got a little momentum tying it up.
St. Louis take a shot? And if so, what does the play look like?
No, I think they take a knee, actually, and just get out of here. You're St. Louis. You're pretty excited at 6-6. I mean, offensively, you've had a lot of penalties, at least 3 false starts. It hadn't been clean, but it's a tie ball game.
Jordan Ta'amu will take a knee. Underdogs covering here in the first half. Dallas not only favored in this game by 9.5, but the favorites to win the XFL. Bob Stoops is standing by with Pat.
Coach, first ever half coaching in the XFL here. What have you learned about your team that you'll talk about in the half?
Yeah, just we've been a little bit short on some third downs, fourth downs, just a little better execution. In some of those situations, we got a chance to keep the ball and stay on the field.
Your offense has been efficient. You just haven't been able to score points. How does Hal get that offensive bunch over the helm?
Same thing. I think we got to hit a few big plays. We haven't had really any big plays, and then execute on third down a little bit better. And we need better run defense on against them as well.
Have you enjoyed being back out here, Coach?
I love it. Absolutely.
For the love of football, Coach Stoops and us here in Dallas, Tom Hart.
1,133 days since Bob Stoops last coached in a game. He personally has a 10-game win streak on the line today. That's how it ended with Oklahoma. St. Louis 6, Dallas 6. We'll take you inside the locker room. We've got more access coming and look back of the previous game today. It's the end of the first half here in Arlington. You're watching the XFL on ESPN.
0. No, they could have said it was 6-6.
It gets you to the same place,
yeah,
right?
It's the same place.
It's a new game. Unless you took Dallas, you're down 9.5 at the break.
Can you still bet the under?
We can get something going. Right. Jonathan Hayes is with Pat McAfee.
Coach Hayes, obviously tie game here, 6-6. What did you tell the boys at halftime?
Well, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. Hell, we have a couple of legal procedures. We put the damn ball on the ground. We got to eliminate those things. I think we're running the ball well. I think our defense is playing stout. We just got to finish it now.
12 years as a player in the NFL, 16 as a coach. How do you feel about your first half as an XFL head coach?
I could still do a couple things better, too, myself. I got to make sure I stay on top of the situation. So we'll get it right, though.
Coach, you're doing a hell of a job. Back to you, Tom.
Well, there is almost a family feel to this one. Jonathan Hayes and Bob Stoops have known each other a long time. Along with Chuck Long, they all played together at the University of Iowa. And Stoops being from Youngstown and Hayes from the Pittsburgh area. Every time they'd go home for any break in college, they would ride together. It's a 9-hour drive from Iowa City to Youngstown. And then somebody would come over and pick up Jonathan and cover the rest of the way. They got to know each other very well. Hayes was on his first staff at Oklahoma. Chuck Long joined them there after Mike Leach left the staff. Austin McGinnis is red hot on Twitter right now. He gets us started in the second half. Keith Mumphrey comes up to the 1. Mumphrey out of Michigan State. And he's got some room on the edge, but he can't quite get around the corner. He's taken down. A nice special team stop, and that's where St. Louis will start their offense.
And speaking of those coaches' stories with Coach Hayes and Coach Stoops, I don't know that I've sat in a room with coaches and listened to better stories than the way they told and their history and their connection. It is amazing how long these guys have known each other, and they're still friends, yet today they're not friends. For these 3 hours, they're not friends.
Coach Hayes was talking about how him and Stoops used to drive 10 hours to Iowa together, back and forth as teenagers. I mean, there's a lot of deep history here. Great football minds, though, in the XFL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
You get through both sides of the Dire Straits cassette when you make that long drive. Jordan Ta'amu at Ole Miss.
Ready to go?
Matt Jones picks up 2.
Coach Hayes there told me they like the run game. You could imagine they're probably going to hammer that pretty heavy here early to see if they can find some more success.
I'd imagine Coach Stoops, being a defensive coach, is thinking the opposite. He is not going to let these guys run the ball down their throat and run it as well as they did in the first half.
We heard some of the adjustments they made at the grease board in the locker room. Tamu looks left, comes back right, delivers that one on time to Marcus Lucas out of Mizzou.
First down, first down.
One of two Mizzou receivers in the St. Louis team, along with LaDamian Washington. They'll make their dome debut in week 3 of the XFL season. St. Louis will be on the road at Houston next week.
Out. Get set.
Wholesale changes for Dallas.
Sunday. Ready, go.
Gain of 1. Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator. 8 years in the NFL with the Lions and the Rams.
Let's go. Trips left. 902 change. Y out. Trips left. 902 change. Y out.
902.
What does Monday signify from Tamu?
Monday a lot of times is just a snap count. But here's your Y, and that's the guy you expect to run the out here.
Tamu looking. Cole Hunt fell. Tamu will take off, and he slides down what would have been shallow center field when this park was used for baseball. A gain of 9.
Yeah, tight end fell down, slipped down, and I was on the field early before this game started, and because it rained last night, rained this morning, I was talking to Jeff Badette, and he was saying that this field is a little bit slippery because of the moistness, because it's so humid out here now. As you could see, the receiver slipping down, but Tamu, because he's a great athlete, didn't matter, can still make the play.
New turf here at Globe Life Park. Out to LaDamian Washington. Gets through the first man. Good blocking on the edge. Washington gets leveled at the 45-yard line. Asante Brown takes him down. Flag on the far sideline. We got a play that extended all the way to the St. Louis bench. Well away from the play on the field.
You all right with that, Wes? You good with that?
Deron Smith got over there in front of the St. Louis bench.
We got helmets flying. Ford's being picked up by his teammate.
It's just a shoulder. Yeah, I just like it as a shoulder. Yeah.
They got a lot to look at.
You got flagged down late. Oh, I see him over there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, they're looking at a possible targeting near side.
Uh-oh.
Okay, all right. And
what
it's
we
still,
got here?
and it's still first, it's going to be first and.
There we go.
Still first.
Oh.
And then they have whatever happened in front of the St. Louis
right,
bench on the far side.
All right, so they're going 15 back.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 82 against the offense. A 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, where it'll be second down.
So that was Cole Hunt, the tight end. Watch 82 in white. The penalty came on the far side of the play, all the way on the other side of the field.
And there's one thing that's been in this league is hitting. They have been hitting very hard in every game you watch are these big hits. But that wasn't the penalty. The penalty's on the other side of the field next to St. Louis's bench.
And that is costly for the BattleHawks.
Officials timeout, medical stop.
The trainer has rushed all the way over to get some EMT folks to come over to the St. Louis sideline.
So I just don't get, let's see if we have a reverse. That reverse 50 is no good.
This was in the area of where the play happened with Cole Hunt, and this is not looking good. They're going to put an air cast on an unidentified St. Louis player. Deron Smith, the Dallas safety, was over there, and as the play continues over the sideline, the assumption is that they carried over into a player not in the game. That's Cole Hunt, the St. Louis tight end.
Are you throwing flag?
I think he was.
So a scary situation for the tight end out of TCU, Cole Hunt. He was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the prior play. And here's where he got tied up with Deron Smith, top of the screen. So he carried Smith past the boundary. That's why the flag came. Watch, see if you can see what happened at the very end, the left leg. And back to action. The leg gave out. They put an air cast on him. Matt Jones picks up 4 yards.
It's unfortunate the injury happened, but once again, another penalty on St. Louis. And you could hear Coach Hayes talking to his team during the huddle. They got to compose themselves. They have 7 penalties in this game for 68 yards. I mean, they can't. It's going to have trouble. They're going to have trouble winning this football game if they continue to shoot themselves in the foot offensively.
The penalty originally negated a first down. They'll take Hunt back to the locker room. Jordan Ta'amu facing pressure. The pocket holds. Now it doesn't. And Ta'amu taken out inside the 20 by Frank Alexander out of Oklahoma. A loss of 14, and Dallas's defense gives them life.
This is a terrific job by Matt Jones picking up this blitz, giving Ta'amu a chance to stand in the pocket. Now, he's 22 years old. He has to realize this ball either has to come out or you have to take off running, because initially up front they do a nice job of giving him time. Nothing open downfield. Get rid of the ball. You can't take that kind of sack.
So Marquette King, NFL leg, all-pro at one point with the Raiders, gets away a boomer, his best kick of the day. And Gerard Hurd has to go Willie Mays at the 20. Pat McAfee, how about your boy, Marquette King?
It's beautiful to see him hammer a ball like he just did. The first couple he missed a little bit. The XFL ball isn't easy to hit, but if you get a hold of it, that thing goes. Marquette just showcased why he was an all-pro in the NFL, why he's probably going to end up back in the NFL, and why he's a weapon. That's a big field flip, especially with the way the momentum was going in the last couple plays.
Pat, back to that previous possession. You're over there on the St. Louis bench. Any feel for what happened to Cole Hunt?
Yeah, I guess Cole Hunt, he blocked him off the field, and then he got driven over the bench. And then obviously a scrum began. D Ford over here had to get hold back. There was a fight that was about to. Very, very emotional sideline there, obviously. And obviously a lot of T's and P's there for the guy.
8 yards on the carry for Lance Dunbar, the longtime Dallas Cowboy. You feel like momentum is on Dallas's side now.
Well, and it was that way in the first half. They had momentum for probably a quarter and a half until St. Louis got in the end zone. So now can they just keep it going? You can see they like some things in this run game.
They love
Dumbo. End of the first half, and all of a sudden this offensive line is going. The air raid, they like to run the ball some too.
Dunbar to North Texas, 3-time Sun Belt Conference running back. A school record, 4,224 rush yards in his career with the Green.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
The injured player is linebacker Terrence Garvin. Six seasons in the NFL with 4 teams. Undrafted free agent of the Steelers in 2013.
It's not a timeout.
Get off the field. It's not a timeout. Good player.
Just wait here.
Let's go, Shallow.
Open 6-8 shallow.
All right. Hey, right here. Huddle.
Hey, there's your 5-man box. Good job, Phil. Hey, keep checking to that. That was a hell of a job right there. Hey, give your tackle some splits now.
We're going to go open Bronco Hero. That's a Bronco Linda.
Hey, got Linda on this then,
Bronco
right?
Hero. Hey,
No, you don't have Jeff. No,
Is that the same call that Nelson got from Hal Mummy?
No, I think they Hal Mummy said open 6, which is for verticals. Those are go routes. It seems like they changed their mind. I don't know if Coach Mummy changed his mind, but somebody changed their mind when they were talking to Nelson.
The mad scientist.
Hey, he said he'd call open 6 every play if he had to.
Monday. Ready, go in.
Corner pressure. A dump off on the shallow route. And Flynn Nagel picks up 4.
Open double Fridays 31.
Banana. Hey,
We got 4 downs here.
Right here. Hey, banana. Yep. Here we go. Easy. Hey, dog. Roger. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead. It's three.
Down the seam, enough for a first down for Dallas. Sean Price and the Renegades are rolling now. Gain of 20.
Same thing. Just do the same thing.
And that's all Nelson. Gives the hand signal, tells the slot route to go down the field, and he hits him perfectly.
Hal Mumme said same thing. Will they go back to number 80, Price?
2-6.
Price in the slot on the right side.
Zebra. We're good. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
And nobody there.
Yeah, and if you watch this play, you can see Nelson gives a hand signal out wide. Hurd couldn't see the hand signal, which happens sometimes when you're in a slot formation. Couldn't see it, so he didn't know what route to run, so he just went straight downfield.
Is it not the receiver's responsibility to see the sign?
Well, if you're in a slot and you're the guy that's on the ball, a lot of times that slot receiver is between you and the quarterback, and you can't see the quarterback's hand.
Hurd just jogged by and said those exact sentiments, Joey. It's almost like you've been there before.
St. Louis shows pressure. Here they come. Slant incomplete, and we got a flag on the play. David Rivers with the coverage on Jeff Badette.
We'll put that at the 7-yard line. Wherever they're
29.
at. Are they at the 7? That flag looks pretty close to the 7 or 8. That's a good spot.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Hey, right here.
And here's the signal by Nelson. If you just watch him back here, he's going to give a quick signal. Well, we missed that one, but he gives a quick signal out wide. You can see Hurd couldn't quite see him, so didn't know what to run.
Fresh set of downs for Dallas. Swing pass. Dunbar will take it to the 5, and he's taken down at the 3. Let me go back to that play as a wide receiver. Does the quarterback have any responsibility to recognize whether or not the receiver has seen it? Is there any recognition?
No, there is no signal back. He gives you a signal. You take a look at it. If you didn't get it, he would never know, which you could tell he just threw the ball away.
So 2nd and goal now for the Renegades. Handoff, Cameron Artis-Payne, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. It'll be 3rd and goal.
And Coach Hayes told us when they get in this area of the field, they're either all-out blitz or all-out coverage. I would be surprised if they don't blitz on the 4-yard line.
Roosevelt. Hey, right here. Hey, right here. 3. Hey, weak. Hey, Ace. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, Ringo.
Hey, here we go. Monday. Ready, go ahead.
Nelson is going to take off, and he gets stuck and upended at the line of scrimmage. Big-time hit for St. Louis's Dexter McCoyle.
Tried to hit that circle button, Tom. Caught him halfway through it. Now there's a little scrum. Don't hit our quarterback like that, says the Dallas Renegades offensive line.
And that's exactly what Coach Hayes told us. They decided not to blitz, so they went 8 guys in coverage. It's either all out or all coverage, which means they're going to rush 3 and keep 8 behind.
They're going to bring Austin McGinnis back out for a field goal. Here's where Philip Nelson got laid out.
Nelson not a great athlete. I don't know why you jump in the air in that situation. It's not going to help your chances of making an extra yard.
23-yard attempt. Austin McGinnis punches it through. He was perfect in the AAF in his debut last year for Memphis. He is perfect in his XFL debut. 3 for 3 tonight.
Listen, now, composure is key. Composure is key, but here's the thing we got to do. We got to relax and get back into our groove. You understand? Get in our groove. Quit overthinking.
From Hayden Fry to Marty Schottenheimer, Bill Cowher, Marvin Lewis, he's learned so much from all the coaches he's played for and coached with. But the thing he took from Bob Stoops, being with him at Oklahoma, never let the players see you panic. Looking for composure here. Trailing for the 2nd time in this game. And the St. Louis return takes it out to the 30. Pat standing by with Hal Mumme.
Coach, you've been coaching football since 1976, revolutionized the game with the air raid offense. Your team has been able to move. You haven't been able to score a touchdown yet. What do you have to do?
We're still we're a little jittery still. We just got to get relaxed, and we got to break the ice and get in the end zone. We've moved the ball pretty good, but we haven't gotten in the end zone.
You're a creative guy. Obviously, the air raid offense has taken the world by storm. The double forward pass is a rule that the XFL has put in. We're all excited to see what you did. How's it looking out there?
Oh, I'd love to do one, but St. Louis got smart, though. They're playing their safety so deep, I'm afraid we can't get it.
Coach Al Mummy loves the bourbon, loves the loafers, and he loves good offense. I'm excited to see what he does here with this Dallas Renegades.
That's fantastic stuff. He dreams up new plays, sitting in the team hot tub with a little maker's mark.
Yeah, and the towel over his shoulder. But he told us it doesn't matter what the defense does. We're going to go out and run our offense. He doesn't watch film of the opposing defenses because it doesn't matter. But he has recognized that St. Louis is playing their safety deep, and that's taking away the
bad snap. Went right past Tamu, took his eyes off of it. Finally finds it at 10, eludes the cameraman, and it's dropped.
Eludes the cameraman.
Yeah.
It's a good thing Pat wasn't out on the field right there.
Marcus Lucas off of his hands.
That's a composure, though, of Tamu, man. Ball gets a little wide, a little sideways, goes back, gathers it, tries to make something of it. Ball gets dropped. Now we got to move forward.
Yeah, and Coach Hayes said he wants to keep his composure. If stuff like this keeps happening, it's going to be hard to do.
It's actually smart drop by Lucas. It saved him.
That's what Lucas
more
was
than
thinking.
10 yards.
He was thinking, I don't want to catch this
Missouri
ball.
guys are smart, let me tell you. Trips to the top for Jordan Ta'amu. And too strong over the head of Lucas. 4th and 4, the punting team will come on. Pat, do punters believe in momentum? I mean, Marquette King just boomed one last time.
Yeah, it's like get the rust off a little bit. He hasn't punted in a live game in a couple years. He had a couple misses, and then once you get that good one, you can really start feeling yourself. I'd assume he did another good one here from Marquette.
Yeah, Pat, that's great, but I'll be honest with you. If I'm St. Louis, when I played football, I didn't care how the punter was. We didn't even want to see the punter hit the field, and he's punted the ball way too many times if you're St. Louis.
I concur.
This is another laser.
I concur, but whenever the wide receivers drop balls, you need a punter to save you with a perfect. What is he doing?
What in the world?
What?
Hey, Pat. Pat almost ran out there and downed it himself.
Oh, that was the perfect. Just stay off the ball. Just don't even touch it. Marquette just hit a perfect punt. Just don't even touch it, buddy.
Wow, and it went right through the wickets on Gerard Hurd.
First down from the 35-yard line.
What?
And so it goes from inside the 1 out to the 35-yard line.
It's not often that you get to see a perfect. Troy Aikman's walking towards me right now.
How many times you see these special teams players? Just leave it alone. The ball's going to be on the half-inch line.
Amen. That's a voice of football.
Hey, look, Bo Harness hadn't got a chance to touch the ball.
That's Troy. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm going to go talk to that guy that just ruined a perfect punt.
Do we have to pay for Troy's analysis?
I don't have the bag, but you guys probably do.
Those guys on the punt team, honestly, they get so excited because they don't get to touch the ball much that when they see it.
Now, I will point this out. Siba Harness was trying to track that thing. It very nearly hit Gerard Hurd and went right between his legs. So if he thinks that went off the punt returner, you fall on it for 6.
That wasn't even a good fall on it, though. He didn't even recover it.
He'd be terrible at Hungry
Yeah, that
Hippo.
was terrible.
My man.
We got a flag on the play.
Incredible effort on a special teams play there. Ends up backfiring a little bit. What was going through your mind?
I thought he touched it, so I tried to get on the ball before he got on the ball, and then we went in the end zone.
Okay, Joey, you're 100% right. I can respect the hell out of that.
Can we have Pat more often?
Yeah, I'd like to point out that I was the one that was right.
Yeah, but I mean,
Illegal
what else
block in the
say?
back. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous
He
spot.
thought he was scoring a touchdown there, by the way. And in the result, actually, worst case scenario, ruined the best field position you could possibly have.
We're a team that's trailing by 3, and that was a 63-yard punt by Marquette King.
Hey, by the way, Joey, when you're like, oh, I don't want to see the punter, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. You saw just a piece of perfection right there, Joey.
That was great, but if you're St. Louis and you're seeing your punter way too many times on the field, That's not a good thing.
It's 9-6, Joey. It's a field position game here. It's still football. It's good football.
They need points, Patrick.
And with all respect to our guy in the bolo tie, Marquette King has the most swag of any punter on the field right now.
All right.
2nd and 11. Nelson flushed. He throws it out to the side. Marquise Young is able to turn that into a gain of 8. David Rivers to stop.
You see Terrence Garvin jump in there and clean this play up. He went down a little bit earlier with the ankle. He's back healthy. These guys are hitting. If there's one thing that has stood out in this league this weekend, a lot of big hits.
Guys out in the desert said 52.5 was the number. We're going to come in way under that one, looks like. Nelson gets taken down in the backfield. St. Louis looking for a play. It comes from Terrence Garvin. A sack and a loss of 2.
Coach Hayes told us if you can get pressure on these quarterbacks, especially in this league, they will not be able to get the ball out. He sends Garvin on a blitz on a huge 3rd down. Now they get the ball back. And Pat, I know you want to see the punter again, but St. Louis wants to move the ball.
Dallas just 1 of 8 on 3rd downs.
Now, if we talk football there, they gained 5 yards. They're on the half-inch line there. This is a whole different ball game that they're punting in.
Gallett's punch it away, and that's fumbled, and St. Louis lucky to fall on it. DeMornay Pearsonell, 42-yard punt. Special teams not so special tonight.
In this league, because the punt team can't leave until the ball is punted, you have a lot more space to catch this ball, which is a good thing and really helped out in that situation.
Treston Decoux was on the coverage, nearly came up with it. Christian Michael, the running back. Michael tried to bend it back inside, and he has to work that hard just to pick up 1. 2:10 and counting in the 3rd quarter.
And the attitude of the Dallas defense is Tom Moo's going to have to make some plays. They're trying to put the pressure on Tom Moo by stopping the run and see if this young quarterback, 22 years old, getting his first start in this league, can make enough plays to put points on the board.
4-man rush. He swings it outside. That's Marcus Lucas. Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator for St. Louis.
11, dual left.
Let's go.
H quick, Iowa even, VIP. Dual left, H quick, Iowa even, VIP.
Iowa inside zone.
Sunday, ready to go.
Tamu gives it up. Michael is swamped. It's almost like Dallas knew the play coming. It's a loss of 2. T. Grace Scales was right there.
Dallas is not going to let St. Louis continue to run the ball, especially on 1st down. And now they set up a 2nd and long, and now it goes to the Dallas defense, and they're in a situation where they want to be.
Chris Woods, defensive coordinator, Dallas.
Feels like every single play could pop, and every single possession matters right now.
Tamu.
Great catch.
They say caught, and it's a 1st down on a pickup of 12. Alonzo Russell out of Toledo.
Ready, go.
Tempo for Ta'amu in St. Louis. In a swing, Pearsonell takes it up the sideline, and a 1st down for the BattleHawks. 13-yard gain.
Pearsonell was an All-American punt returner in Nebraska 2014. Drops the punt. It's key for him to get the ball back in his hands to sort of erase that bad play and make a play. Now they're across the 50 again. Can they finish this off? Keep this momentum going.
Ready, go. Come on, get out there. Go.
Michael gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Rashard Clayette, 27-year-old out of South Florida.
Daryl Johnson told me before the game that Clayette is a hitter. Got him from the Minnesota Vikings practice squad.
Trips left, 501, 8, hitch. 501, 8 hitch.
8 hit.
Play clock at 5. Maybe the last play of the 3rd quarter. Tamu pressured, sidesteps it, has a chance to go deep to Washington. Instead, he'll tuck it and scramble. Tony Garrard chased him, and Tamu shook him. We head to the fourth quarter in
That's
Arlington.
the end of the third quarter.
Opening weekend of the XFL. And this one's coming down to the wire. You're watching the XFL on ESPN.
The following copyrighted broadcast of the XFL and ESPN may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the XFL and ESPN.
Tom Hart, Joey Galloway, Pat McAfee. We head to the fourth quarter. Final game of the opening weekend of the XFL. And Dallas, heavy favorites. Sorry, I got distracted. Those guys aren't wearing shirts. The Renegades have a field goal lead as we start the fourth quarter. St. Louis BattleHawks in the whites with the gray trousers. Dallas in all black. Tiamu trying to take off. He will pick up a first down and plenty more. Inside the 10 before he's taken down. It's a 35-yard scramble.
And this was a called quarterback run. This is a great play call. The quick step. Offensive lineman downfield, and all of a sudden now it's Helmo and his speed against the defense of Dallas. They track him down, but they're inside the 10. Can they finish this off and get back in the lead?
Longest play of the game. We've got an injured player for Dallas, Tenny Adewuse, the safety out of Delaware. Does this benefit St. Louis, or does it hurt him to have play stopped in this scenario as they were kind of moving the tempo up?
I don't know that it necessarily matters. I'm sure Tiamu is thinking, I can catch my breath now.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long run, huge play, gets a chance to catch his breath and settle back in.
Yesterday, meeting with Tiamu, he is a well-built dude. I feel like if those 4 games that he had at that military institute his freshman year didn't count against his eligibility, and he had 1 more year of SEC football, I think there would have been a lot of NFL interest. Instead, obviously, it's his job to come here in the XFL, dominate, grow a little bit, mature a little bit. And I think he's doing just that. The composure's unreal. The athletic ability's there. Excited to see if he can punch us in.
Ready? Sunday. Ready, go.
Quick hitter to the outside. Complete to LaDamian Washington, and he gets hog-tied out of bounds.
11, double left, 17, General. VIP. Double left, 17, General. VIP.
Let's go. Get lined up,
17,
man.
an outside zone look. Let's see if they run it.
Yeah, outside left, to the left side. Odd numbers go left.
Chris and Michael, line of scrimmage, nothing else. Let's listen to both sides.
Let's go 11. Let's go H, bunch right. 502.
Tell them the game. Hey, tell them to rush. Just straight rush up front. Tell them to rush. 502. Empty, I want rain.
That's my favorite call I've ever heard.
No, we're good.
It sounds a little backyardish, doesn't it? Let's just rush them. 3rd and goal, 11th play of the drive.
H bunch, there's your H in this bunch, and we'll see if the ball goes there.
Tamu looking in zone, back of it. It is
touchdown.
Caught, touchdown, St. Louis. Alonzo Russell and a 9-yard strike from Tamu.
Rolling on the field.
Language, please, boys.
St. Louis back in front. They're going to go for 1.
That was a dime, by the way, from Tamu.
Point afters, you're allowed to go for 1 point from the 2-yard line. You can elect to try a 2-point conversion from the 5 or 3 points from the 10.
Try for 1 from the 2-yard line.
Here's some of the strategy. Coach Long told us you might as well go for 2. Well, now they're up 3. They got a chance to put this at 4 to make it so that they just can't kick a field goal. All of a sudden, that 1 looks pretty good to him.
So does the underdog. Matt Jones denied on the conversion. Jonathan Calvin got into the backfield. But St. Louis got a touchdown pass from Jordan Ta'amu.
And what a throw. On the money, goes up. Russell 6'4", 218. You put that ball up high near that goal post, and the defensive backs will have trouble going up to get it with him.
I'm here with Jordan now on the sideline. Jordan popped a big run down, and then you threw an absolute strike in the end zone. What was it about that drive that really got you guys going?
You know what, just the speed. I told the guys they can't hang with us. We just got to show them that each play, hey, next play, next play, next play, no matter if we lose yards or gain yards, it's the next play. So our goal was to score, so that's our goal. The rest of the game is keep scoring. Defense gets stops, and we're going to keep scoring.
All right, great drive, Jordan. The composure's unreal from this kid. And yesterday we saw a lot of very tired interviews. I'm impressed with his conditioning there, able to talk.
Yeah, especially after the longest play of the day was his 37-yard run to start the quarter.
A lot of times you'll see with athletic quarterbacks, they pop off a big run, it gets them in rhythm. A nice pass is coming next because now they're back in their element. They're making those kind of plays, moving the chains, their biggest play of the day, and then the throw, he then makes his best throw of the day.
If you haven't seen the kickoff, here's what it looks like. Taylor Russolino will kick it from the 30. His coverage team lined up at the 35. Only a 5-yard separation. They can't move until it's fielded. From the 5. Wow, what a hit. St. Louis getting momentum from both sides of the ball. Roderick Hoskins out of Florida State.
This is textbook tackling. This is the way you draw it up. Helmet right in the chest, drives the hips, picks him up, puts him down, and everyone pats you on the head after that.
Here we go.
Quarterback Philip Nelson, 27 of 31, but only 169 yards in the air. A check down again. And Austin Walker takes it out for a gain of 8.
Blue 92. Blue 92. Blue flip. Make it blue flip. Blue flip.
Tiger Linda. Hey, Tiger. 90. What? What? Blue flip. Nice, Tiger. No, Roger. You're free. Yeah, swing. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go in.
Looking for Dunbar in the swing pass. And a former Cowboy takes it out to the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 8.
Blue 92. Blue 92. Willies, be cool.
Tiger Linda. Yeah, blue. Tiger Linda. Swing. Hey.
Play call for Nelson, then telling Willie Beavers, the left tackle, not to mix it up.
Yeah. Hey, Lou. Hey, zebra. Monday. Hey, go ahead.
Nelson going deep for the first time into coverage and incomplete. Threw it out of bounds. Montre Wade out of Murray State had the coverage downfield.
And you can see why Nelson hasn't gone downtown. The coverage was soft. Defensive backs have been playing back, and that's why Nelson's been checking the ball down. I truly believe in offense, sometimes you got to take that shot just to make sure the defense respects your ability to go downfield. A clearly ball out of bounds, no chance for a completion.
Bob Soup's talking about the air raid, said this offense is at its best when you can be bold. Bold running straight ahead. Austin Walter taken down past midfield.
Yeah, do it again. Same thing.
Do I need to tell you what's going to happen here, Tom?
I think Austin Walter might get a carry.
Oh, you got it? All right, good.
Hey, Jet. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go in.
Instead, it's a swing out to Dunbar. And Dunbar picks up 4.
Blue flip 92.
Blue flip. Hey, Tiger Roger.
So you understand, the quarterback has 2 play calls, which he can audible to either one. And that's why you can say do the same thing, but the play looks different.
Hey, hold 5-7. 5-7. There you go. 5-7. Monday. Ready, go in.
Crossing routes, Nelson gets taken down. Took too long to develop. It's a loss of 5. It's Jake Payne out of Shenandoah.
Blue flip 92H wheel. Blue flip 92H wheel.
Tiger Roger. Hey, Jazz. Right.
That was the second sack of the game for Jake Payne.
Hey, Roger, blue flip. Wheel.
Listening to a quarterback bounce back after getting sacked is
Here's your H in the backfield, be running a wheel route up the sideline to see if they can catch him deep.
Here we go. One day. Ready, go in.
Deep ball, and Jazz Ferguson wasn't ready for it. You could hear Philip Nelson scream Jazz as soon as he let it go. Missed opportunity for Dallas, and the Northwestern State product wasn't ready.
And you can see where Jazz is going right now toward the end of the bench, Tom. When I messed up, that's where I go, down to the end.
Same page out here, bro.
First charge time out of the half, St. Louis.
A despondent Jazz Ferguson. So Dallas will have to punt it away, trailing by 3 with 10:08 to go in the fourth quarter. DeMornay Pearsonell out of Nebraska muffed the last opportunity on a punt return. He stands at his 10.
Us punt returners don't appreciate when you bring up the muff we had last time.
Well, then don't have them.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Can't believe you ever made a mistake.
I didn't say me.
Galich out of Baylor. Drills this one inside the 5. It will check up, and Dallas is able to kill this one at the 2-yard line. 48-yard punt, Pat McAfee.
Absolute beauty, too. Put the wedge out there. Galich has torn his ACL twice. And to come out here tonight and put on the performance he has is nothing short of remarkable. To pin them deep now. It could be a momentum turner for the Dallas Renegades, down 3 here in the fourth quarter.
He tore it against Texas Tech and stayed in the game. He tore it like warm-ups and kickoffs before the game. He stayed in and punted 3 times while he was at Baylor. Long field for Jordan Ta'amu in St. Louis, but they have a 3-point lead. The underdogs threatening a road upset. 5th St. Louis possession to start inside their own 20. Ta'amu will keep it.
That is a great play call. A terrific, maybe the best play call of the day.
Double left. Iowa even book. General Randy. Same play.
Let's go, same play. Let's go. I don't got it. Iowa even book. Iowa even book. Hey, gap, 51. Sunday.
Iowa short for inside zone. Straight ahead. First down run, Matt Jones. Chuck Long calling up some winners.
Dual left. Dual left. Iowa even. VIP Randy.
Iowa even. Iowa even. Iowa even. Get set. 51. Sunday. Ready, go.
LaDamian Washington on the catch. And he is muscled out of bounds after a pickup of 2. Chris Woods, the defensive coordinator on the left.
Double right. Punch even, grab, soda, VIP.
Punch even, grab.
Double right, punch even, grab, soda, VIP.
You can see he's only giving the offensive line part of that play call. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know what the skill guys are doing.
Pressure from the edge. Ta'amu to the slant. That's good for a St. Louis first down and plenty more. DeMornay Pearsonell to the 40. Stays on his feet before he's taken down. And St. Louis goes into Dallas territory on a 39-yard run after the catch.
And it's the second time they've called Soda. With Soda is the quick pop behind the linebackers. You can see Pearsonell coming across. Because they've run the ball so well in this game, they've run it for 172 yards. It opens up the little pop pass behind. The first time they ran it, the second time they hit Pearsonell for a big play.
Ta'amu hands this one off. And Matt Jones picks up 6.5. Almost to the midway point of the fourth quarter.
This offense feels different these past 2 drives. They just seem like they're playing a lot of confidence. The run is working, which has opened up the pass, and a great play call off the goal line. The fake run with Tamu with the big run to get them the first down, getting this offensive set rolling, and now offensively they seem like they're in a rhythm.
Nearly balanced in the yardage department pass run.
This is a remarkable drive. I mean, starting way backed up, just to matriculate down the field like this is absolutely remarkable. And when he came out of bounds there on that big run, Oliver Luck, myself, a cameraman, a couple other people almost lost our ACLs.
Yeah, we can't have that. St. Louis has run for 184. They've passed for 183.
Sunday. Ready to go.
Safety pressure. Jones trying to find space. Not much there.
We got opposite toss here. You guys ready? Get your guy in. Dual right. H quick. 27. Opposite toss general.
27 opposite. 27 opposite.
H quick. 27 opposite toss general.
Get set. Get set. Get set. Sunday. Ready to go.
Here's the toss. DeMornay Pearsonell gets bottled up on the edge. Goes out of bounds. It's a gain of 2. Tresson Deku with the tackle.
All right, 11. Dual left. 901 H mesh. Dual left. 901 H mesh. Pump. Z pump. Z pump.
Safety blitz coming. Tamu running for his life, and he's taken down at the 30. T. Gray Scales.
Yeah, they had the Z pump to the top of the screen. They were trying to get a double move route. The blitz came and didn't have a chance to get this ball out of his hands, but the double move was there to the upside.
Got him by a shoelace.
And that is just a great defensive play call to send a blitz when a team is trying to run a double move when the quarterback has to hold the ball.
48-yard attempt now for Taylor Russolino to make it a 2-score game, and it is true. And St. Louis takes a 15-9 lead with 5:16 to go. Pat, it's been an amazing weekend already. What a way to cap this thing.
It has been an absolutely wonderful weekend, which leads us to the man who's in charge of this thing, Oliver Luck. When Vince McMahon approached you about relaunching the XFL, could you imagine a much more successful weekend than this has been?
Not my wildest dreams. Some great games. This one's a old-fashioned slugfest, a little bit of a barn burner in terms of the teams being so equally matched. So what a great opening weekend for us.
I know you guys took 7 months to kind of test out these new rules. The reviews have been nothing short of spectacular. The kickoff rules, everybody loves. The extra point attempt, everybody seems to love it. Did you have a sense that it would have this overwhelming positive response?
I thought the vast majority of football fans would like it because the underlying rationale, why did we change the kickoff, makes sense, right? And it makes sense not just for excitement, but for player safety as well. So we had a pretty good feeling that these rules were going to be well accepted by our fans.
The XFL is a good thing for this country. It's a good thing for football. I don't think anybody could be more proud than what we've got going on for you and your team, Oliver.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Pat.
No problem. Tom, Oliver Luck has been nothing short of professional, and what an overwhelming, successful weekend this has been for the XFL.
Not quite for Dallas yet, though. Came in as 9.5-point favorites, and they're in danger of losing here at home. Marquise Young with the return. A couple of push-ups to try to get going. 5:10 to go. St. Louis up by 6. DeMornay Pearsonell with a 41-yard reception. He's battling emotions, and the opponent today, he lost his grandmother this week. She raised him. He's playing with a heavy, heavy heart.
Get the call.
Move 5 seconds. Here we go. Monday. Ready to go in.
Incomplete. Trying to find Parham.
Early in this game, Philip Nelson would have just simply taken the running back out of the backfield. This time tries to go over the middle. There's 5 minutes left in this game. They're down 6. More pressure than he's dealt with so far today.
Trio. Three. Hey, three. Here we go. Monday. Ready, go in.
Here's Nagel. Cut down after a gain of 5. And Hal Mummy got taken down.
Landry Jones was telling Hal, you got to give him a call there from your back. Right in the middle of this whole thing. Well, they went to a signal because his headset's off right there. Quick adaptability. Maybe the headset broke. Let me check.
Hurry. Hey, open, dog, Roger. Here we go. Woo. Monday. Ready, go in.
They just got the play off. Nelson going deep. Too strong. Hal Mummy was without the quarterback that's going to be the face of this franchise. Landry Jones, he is due to start next week. He suffered a minor knee injury at the very beginning of camp for Dallas, and the crowd here at Globe Life Park started chanting Landry Jones. This offense will look different with his arm.
Yeah, Philip Nelson's gone deep twice in this game. Both times the ball has landed out of bounds. And I think the fans are just want to see an offense that gets more chunk plays, goes downfield. Everything Philip Nelson's completed so far in this game has been 5 to 10 yards. And so they're sitting there starting to think, we're behind in the game, we should be winning.
One reason they're not. The Renegades are just 1 for 10 on third down. Did you get enough? Probably not. I know you'll be back next week for more XFL action. Saturday, 2 o'clock, ABC. We'll get things started in D.C. Then Tampa and Seattle from out west at 5 o'clock on Fox on Saturday. We'll be back Sunday out west. Dallas travels to L.A. to take on the Wildcats on ABC at 3 Eastern. And St. Louis will continue the road trip at Houston. Primetime, FS1 next week. Jordan Ta'amu took a key sack. His coach wasn't happy.
All right, go.
Come here. In that situation, you never take that.
I didn't got my leg out of nowhere.
All right.
And so as a result, St. Louis settled for a field goal. Their lead is 6. Matt Jones picks up 2.5.
No.
BattleHawks came in as the underdog. The winner of every XFL game will split $100,000 per team.
Hey, can you guys hear it?
Well, Damian Washington could use some money. Homeless in Shreveport, Louisiana after both of his parents passed away. Drove to the University of Missouri on an auction car and a GPS he borrowed from a trucker. Here's Matt Jones. Nothing doing. Jones taken down behind the line.
Now the Damian story we learned about yesterday was magical, man.
Hit it up in there.
Obviously, you got to hit the hole a little bit harder, but the Damian motivational speaker would love to hear that guy talk. He was nothing short of professional yesterday.
Trips left, 902 change, Y out. Trips left, 902 change, Y out. Trips left, 902 change, Y out.
And Damian Washington, great role model for young receivers. He's one of the oldest guys in this team. Play clock is already at 2.
And here's your Y, and they ran this play earlier, see if the Y can get the out cut.
Ta'amu got him. First down, St. Louis.
Remember they ran that play earlier and the Y fell down?
Yep.
They're talking about getting the ball out. He gets this ball out on time in a tight window. This is a terrific throw. Ta'amu's been different in this fourth quarter. These throws he's made, you can tell he's settled in.
That long run has changed everything for him, Joey.
Gotcha.
Taylor Heineke, backup quarterback, told him 2 minutes. Jonathan Hayes says, I got this. They will let the clock run out. We'll go to the 2-minute warning here in opening weekend, the final game of the XFL weekend.
The ball game. Timeout.
The underdog BattleHawks win. St. Louis lead 15-9 with 2 to go. I don't understand, but I understand this. Tonight at 11 Eastern on ESPN. Stay tuned for SportsCenter with Kenny Mayne and John Anderson. From the NBA, they'll have Heat Blazers reactions. Plus, Phil Mickelson looks for back-to-back wins at Pebble Beach. And a look at a special tribute to Kobe and Gianna Bryant from the Philippines. That's tonight on ESPN and on the ESPN app. The St. Louis BattleHawks lead with 2 minutes to go over the favorite Dallas Renegades. Matt Jones, submarine past midfield, a pickup of 6.
Hey, come. Hey, so I'm gonna wait till like the
First charge timeout of the half. Dallas. 30 seconds and leave.
So Dallas will stop the clock with 1:55 to go. The last 2 minutes each half take a little bit longer than you may be used to. It's a comeback period. Occurs after the 2-minute warning in each half. On plays that end in the field of play, the game clock stopped until the ball has been spotted and 5 seconds run off the play clock. Incomplete passes and out-of-bounds plays, the game clock will stop until the snap.
Take the quick off this time. Let's not do the quick. No quick. Dual right, Iowa on VIP.
We said take the quick off. He's talking about the motion. They've been motioning in this play. And this time, Coach Hayes told him, take the motion off of it.
No, we're good. Come on, they called a timeout. Let's go. One day.
Expect inside zone here?
Yeah, why not?
180. What's up?
Matt Jones picks up a St. Louis first down. Dallas has 1 timeout remaining. Only 2 timeouts per team per half in the XFL.
Okay, Tom and Joey. In the NFL, if you get to 2 minutes with a first down with the other team with no timeouts, you can run the clock out. In the XFL, it's 1:12. If you get to 1:12 left in the game with the other team with no timeouts, it's over.
Yeah,
so that's obviously the object right now of the BattleHawks of St. Louis.
Double left, Iowa even book, General Randy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Line up.
Timeout.
Play clock was at 2. St. Louis has changed their play calling into Jordan Ta'amu. It had been Chuck Long, and late in this fourth quarter, it's coming from the head coach, Jonathan Hayes.
And Coach Hayes got to work on his timeout call. He was very relaxed.
Prior to the snap, timeout, St. Louis. This will be their second and final charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Yeah, so I can just tell them and then we can just be live. I can't hear it.
Double left, Iowa even book, VIP. Double left, Iowa General book.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:32.
Double left, Iowa
1:32 on the game clock.
VIP. Got me, Jordan. Yes, I said.
There's a belief on our side that Chuck Long's headset isn't working to the players, but maybe working to the coaching staff.
You could read his lips, and you could see that Coach Hayes was repeating what
Chuck Long's headset is out.
Saying.
That's what Coach Hayes just told me.
So there's a delay in getting these play calls in because they're going offensive coordinator, head coach to quarterback. You heard Jordan Ta'amu ask him to be quicker.
Yeah, ask him to be faster, and Coach Hayes wasn't expecting to have to do this. And so in this situation now, as the head coach, as he mentioned, now you got to run everything. Now he has to run now he has to call the plays.
1:32 on the game.
And St. Louis had to burn a timeout, up 6. There is no reciprocity rule in the XFL. In many other leagues, if one headset goes out, the other team has to agree not to use their headsets either.
Take care of the ball.
Every man for himself.
Even on the road.
If your headset goes out, we continue. Ta'amu taken down in the backfield. Jalen Robinson, the son of the big dog, Glenn Robinson, the Purdue standout.
Second and final.
Jalen played there as well, and he comes up with a huge sack, and Dallas stops the clock with 1:28. And what did Jonathan Hayes tell Jordan Ta'amu? You cannot take sacks.
Yeah, and that's going to happen with a young quarterback. And in this situation, he takes a sack, but honestly, it will be interesting to see what happens on this second play.
Okay. That'd be good. All right, what do you want? Dual left, Iowa even, VIP. Dual left, Iowa even, VIP. Dual left, Iowa even.
There is a reason he would cover his mouth when sending in the play call. It's because the other team can still read lips and steal signals, even though they can't hear the audio.
Exactly.
Iowa even,
even VIP.
They're going to run the ball.
Hey, there's not a whole lot of calls, right?
We all know that.
They do it again. Dallas with the stop. Remember, inside 2 minutes, even though it wasn't out of bounds or an incomplete pass, the play clock will stop. The game clock will stop, pardon me.
The play clock.
And they'll run 5 seconds off the play clock before it starts winding again.
Dual right, Iowa odds VIP.
Pat, you said that number was a minute 12?
Yeah, all the coaches I spoke to, a minute 12 when the opponent has 0 timeouts is good enough to win you the game. Obviously, first down is massive here, but you also want to keep the clock moving.
3rd and long. And nothing. That's a loss of 1. 1:04 to go. 4th down coming up.
They take this down to what, 40 seconds? Around 44.
Marquette King is the punter. What's your mind here, the mindset for a punter? Do you think Dallas is going to come after it, number 1? And what's the reaction?
Well, Marquette's get-off is very quick because he comes from the NFL. Right now, I'm trying to hang this thing and pin him as deep as possible. I think this is a big deal. They're probably going to take a delay of game. I believe Coach Hayes is telling Marquette, back him up 5 yards, not that big of a difference.
Gerard Hurd set to return. He started his career as a quarterback at the University of Texas for Mack Brown. He broke Vince Young's single-game yardage record as a freshman.
Delay of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Hey, you got to cover.
Got to get it in.
Yeah, you have to cover. I mean, that's pretty vital in the punt game.
Dallas comes after it. King gets it away. Hurd chased to the sideline, and he muffs it. Gerard Hurd falls on it.
Game over. St. Louis BattleHawks win because of a punt.
Easy, Pat, easy.
That's what punters do, Joey. Oh, no. They say Dallas recovered it.
I hope nobody changed the channel just now because of you.
Well, I mean, the Oscars are on. That's boring. Right now, we got a shootout here in Dallas.
But we don't need a red carpet. We got a green carpet.
Yeah, the problem is Nelson hasn't gone downfield very well.
Yeah.
And so if you're Dallas and you need to score and you need to go, do something you haven't been able to do all day long, you're going to ask Nelson to now push the ball downfield. And the 2 deep balls he's thrown have been out of bounds.
You know who has a great arm?
Play.
Their running back has a great arm. We haven't seen the double pass, but Lance Dunbar can throw it.
Marquette, what were you thinking there? Just try to hit it as high as possible so the guy could potentially drop it and get some hang time?
You know what? I just want to play it safe. The coach asked me to do something. I did exactly what I was told.
Attaboy, Marquette. Great to see him back.
6.2 yards per completion for Philip Nelson. They drop 8. Nelson checks down. Jeff Badette, the former Oklahoma star, runs a 4.27 40. He's out of bounds after a gain of 4.
You need to push the ball downfield, and your 4.27 guys running the under. Not a great chance for the big play.
Hurry up.
Here we go. Monday. Gotta go ahead.
Again, they rush only 3. Nelson complete to the 30-yard line.
Do it again. 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 Everybody do it again. Get lined up. Hurry up, Badette.
Florida. Here we go. Here we go. Monday.
Clock starts now. Nelson, deep, intercepted, and St. Louis is going to steal a road win. Their captain, Will Hill, with the interception to seal this one.
Whole squad going down for a family photo. That's what we're talking about. I was just invited. I'm not going.
Will Hill got a heck of a souvenir. That's Dallas's football, and he can keep it.
I want to let you know, it was just mentioned that maybe that spread of 9.5 was completely wrong.
Could be.
How about the over-under of 52.5? Pat, I hope you made some money on that one.
I believe all 4 unders hit this weekend, which nobody could have expected, but I'll be interested to see what the lines do next week.
St. Louis, the only road team to win this weekend. I hope you got the BattleHawks in the money line. If you did, you're buying us dinner next week in Los Angeles.
That's a good one.
What a difference in the second half. The St. Louis offense finally found some rhythm.
I'm with Coach Hayes down here on the sideline. Coach, First game as head coach, first XFL game. How do you feel with the squad?
Hey, feels great, especially against the guy that brought me into coaching, Bob Stoops. He's a hell of a coach. He's got a hell of a team. Well, I'm just happy we came out on top.
What did you like from Ta'amu today?
I liked his poise. I loved his poise, and he showed it.
Hey, don't rub it in his face too much, Coach. I'll tell you what, two members have a lot of respect for each other. Great game down here in Dallas. The BattleHawks just had a great game plan, and Ta'amu showed up.
The surprise of the weekend that St. Louis is able to come on the road as 9.5-point underdogs and take down Dallas. Now, if you're looking for positives for this Dallas team, and Landry Jones will be in action next week against Los Angeles. And Joey, seemingly this offense will look better with more of a deep threat with his arm.
Yeah, I think you liked what Philip Nelson did there for a while in the first three quarters. It was fine, taking the underneath throws, getting some first downs, moving the ball, didn't get a lot of points out of it. But it's in the fourth, when you need to go downfield, that's when you're in trouble when you're playing that kind of offense.
And so Jonathan Hayes able to put together a 15-9 victory. St. Louis will stay on the road. They go to Houston next weekend. Jordan Ta'amu, the winning quarterback, standing by with Pat.
Oos, it felt like you really hit a rhythm whenever you popped that long run. This second half was a completely different offense for you guys. What did you see out there?
I just saw that they gave us the run all game, and showed in the yards that the running backs did. That started with the O-line, and receivers helped out a lot with just the outside screens and just taking what they give us, and that's basically it.
You're 22 years old. This is your first professional ball. In early, was there any jitters? You felt pretty comfortable from the jump.
Yeah, I was nervous, but at the same time excited, more excited, just to be able to play again and with the XFL. So this is the first year of many more years to come, and first game of many more games. So excited and blessed.
What's Coach Hayes like as a head coach? What was his message at halftime, and how is this going to contribute or continue throughout the entire season?
Yeah, Coach Hayes is a wonderful coach. He knows what he wants, knows what he needs, and he told us at halftime, hey, we got to keep doing what we're doing. Defense makes plays, and offense just keep driving and keep running down their throat, and that's basically what we did. Started with the O-line, like I said. They did a wonderful job tonight.
Incredible fade, incredible game. Congrats to you, young man. Can't wait to watch you this season. Ta'amu had a massive game today, put the team on his back on numerous occasions. Terrence Garvin here, former NFLer, played his ass off on the defensive side of the ball. Tom, this BattleHawks team, 9.5-point underdogs come away with a massive win in Dallas.
Pat, you mentioned the fade. Jordan Ta'amu's hair looks better than when he got it shaved at New Mexico Military College, and his game, Joey, has progressed. He can now say he's a professional quarterback. He's got a start under his belt, and he's got a W under his belt.
You can see he settled into this game. The couple throws he made in the fourth quarter for the touchdown, the Y out that they hit, were throws that are big time. On the money, on time, more importantly, and it started with the run. When you take an athletic quarterback like Ta'amu and he makes big plays with his feet, all of a sudden they feel comfortable, and you can see the throws get better.
15-9, maybe not as much offense as the folks at Caesars had in mind, but enough for Jordan Ta'amu in St. Louis to win this road game.
You see this throw down the field to the outside. You always throw the receiver to his outside shoulder so the defensive back can't get to it. It's a great throw to the sideline. And then stepping up, taking off, running, and watch the speed. He gets a first down, moving the chains. And again, this is a play call for a quarterback run, and it is just a foot race. Gets him inside the 10-yard line. Paid this off. What a great throw to the slant to Russell, who's 6'4", throws it up in the air, gets the foot in bounds. And St. Louis's offense, especially in that fourth quarter, was completely different.
So if St. Louis wants to get off to a great start in this league, they'll have to win on the road. They go to Houston next, but couldn't ask for a better start than that. Bob Stoops returns after 3 years away from this game. And how Mummy's air raid offense, they had the air taken out of them. How can they improve?
Well, when we talk to this coaching staff, and they talk about Landry Jones and what he brings to the table, they're very excited he'll play next week. And I think this offense is going to look completely different. Philip Nelson completed a lot of balls, but not for much yardage. Look for Landry Jones to go downfield next week.
What did we learn about the league as a whole, and what did we learn about some of the things that we're going to need to know when it comes to game planning in this league with the new rules and the clock situation?
one thing we know is they're going to hit. These guys are hitting a lot, so you see that, and that's part of football. But the other thing is when you talk about some of the things they do with going for 1, 2, or 3 after games and how that plays in, and toward the end of the game there, we're seeing a team trying to run the clock out. And Pat told us you got to get to 115 with 4 plays to run it out, and so they had to punt the ball. So there's a lot of timing things and going for extra points that'll play into the strategy of this game.
Mizzou made LaDamian Washington with a great showing for his home state team, and the odds look like this coming into the season. Dallas, the favorites to win the XFL championship at 5-2. St. Louis at 6-1 alongside DC, but the BattleHawks certainly look a lot better. So Dallas and Tampa Bay, the 2 favorites, both took losses today. The home team, this weekend, I should say, and that was today. The home teams go 3-1. What a fantastic opening weekend of XFL football throughout the country. Next Sunday, our crew will come your way Sunday at 3 o'clock on ABC. When Dallas looks to get off the schneid, they go out west to take on the Wildcats. For Joey Galloway, Pat McAfee, our sensational XFL on ESPN crew, I'm Tom Hart. Coming up next year on ESPN, The Undefeated presents the Year of the Black Quarterback. So long from Arlington.